Good afternoon. Welcome. This is our online Christmas in July class with Cathy Zielske, and we are so excited about the projects that we'll be making today. And there's even some bonus projects at the end of class that Cathy has done for all of us to see. Anywhere in the world, you are welcome to join us. If you're one of the ones that has a kit for class, I hope you'll get it out. Cathy is going to be going over it with us very shortly. I am Heidi and I am in the Simon Says Stamp office. Cathy will be coming in shortly. She's actually in her own studio. She will be teaching us, and I will be learning alongside all of you. And I love that the chat is rolling, and you guys have already taken it upon yourselves to share where you're from. I hope you continue to do that. It helps us see and engage in what's going on. We encourage you to engage all during class if you're live with us. That way we can answer questions whenever possible. Reed will be moderating this class, and welcome. Reed and Brian are both here helping us.
We're happy to be here.
We also have our Simon Says Stamp team moderating, and they will be providing any kind of links and answers that we can do in the live chat. If you're watching us on rewatch, you're welcome to. The beautiful thing about watching us on rewatch is that you can pause and you can even fast forward. You can't fast forward. I know, I love that joke. You can't fast forward during our live class today, but if you're on rewatch, you can fast forward there. Many of the supplies that we are using today are still available for a limited time at simonsaysstamp.com. You'll see that in the description of this video, and watch your emails, because if you're a student for this class, you will be getting some extra fun emails in your inbox regarding and pertaining to this class. So those are nice surprise emails for our students. You can also chat live with us today or in the comment section of YouTube. We're going to keep this video up on our Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel so you can rewatch it and watch it at any time. And if you don't have a kit and you love what we've made today, many of these products for a very limited time, like I said before, are going to be available for you. So now, Reed, did I get housekeeping done before we introduce the main event?
I think we're ready to party if you are.
We're ready to party. So, oh wait, let me look at the chat. We've got Iowa, we've got Wisconsin, Michigan. Oh my gosh, these fires. It's crazy. It smells a little different in Ohio now from the Canadian fires. It's crazy. I'm sure in Michigan too. Chardon, Ohio, great. I love seeing where everybody's from, more Iowa. Why can't fast forward, Heidi? My kids want to fast forward me too. Okay, so welcome to everybody all over the world who's joining us. This is a free class, so we love to be able to do this with you and for you. Thumbs up and subscribe if you want more great content like this. Okay, now Reed, by the magic of television, is going to bring in Cathy Zielske from CZ Design. Woo! She is the main event. She is our teacher today, and I can't wait for you guys to see what she's going to be making. So Cathy, thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome. How are you doing today?
I'm good. I'm really excited to be here. I've been waiting for this for weeks because when we launched this, I was so excited for this day to come. So I'm really excited to be here. I think we're going to have so much fun making the cards, and I'm going to show the kit, and then I'm going to show the cards because we haven't really shown what you're making today.
We've been keeping it under wraps. We love surprises.
We like surprises. So as Heidi said, just keep in mind, when you're watching us live, if you fall behind, you can hit the pause button on a live stream and then get caught up and hit play again if you like. Or you can come back and watch it anytime because it will live on the Simon Says Stamp YouTube channel. So we want you to have fun today. We're going to keep the pace hopefully very doable. And you're going to have some really cute Christmas cards when we are done. Get those glasses on, Heidi. Come on, girl. See, we're twinsies. I love it. So yes, we're ready to go.
Okay. Show us that kit, Cathy Zielske. And I love that many of the products in the kit, Cathy designed.
Yes, I did. And that
All
is
right,
what
Cathy,
is so
giving you the reins.
Thank you so much, Reed. Okay, so we are going to go to the table. So this is a look at the kit, and let's just dig in. The first thing that you are going to have in your kit, and I am most excited about this because it's a little custom curated palette, and actually Heidi and I came up with this together. I had a few ideas for a non-traditional Christmas, And so you're going to have all these cubes. And I will tell you that when I was working on this palette initially, I had a much more dull blue, and Heidi's like, what if we threw in like a surf kind of color? And that was where the magic came together. So you have these cubes, and this is an exclusive curated palette for the kit. So that's part one. You're also going to have some craft glue, and this is going to come in really handy today because we're going to use it with glitter. And also one of my pieces I already took out of my kit, so I'm going to bring that back in because Heidi's going to love this. This was kind of, we are so excited to give you your own magic vial of rock candy. So you know what's funny? This is a lot of rock candy. Believe it or not, once we're finished today, it's gonna look like the same amount of rock candy. So there you go. Okay, love that, right, Heidi? It's the magic sauce or the secret sauce?
It's the secret ingredient.
It's the secret ingredient. You're gonna get foam squares, and we're probably gonna be using a lot of these today, so there's your foam squares. You're also going to have a couple of brushes in your kit. Now, these we're going to use more for some of the bonus things I have a set of tags that I wanna make with Heidi at the end, so these are going to come into play there, but you know what? It is always nice to have extra blending brushes. So, this little guy is the Christmas Joy stencil. Now, you might be wondering, okay, it's a bunch of shapes, Cathy, and it is, but we are going to be using this at the end as well, and this will tie in with some of the bonus projects to show you because all of this coordinates, well, not that one, with the shapes in this particular kit. And why that's cool, with the dies you're getting, it just creates more creative opportunities for you. So I'm going to set that aside. Now, oh, I forgot. You're going to get a little sweet treat. Heidi, did you get a yellow one?
I got a pink one.
Okay, I really love that for you and for me. Okay,
I'm
you're
jealous
also
of your
going to
yellow.
get, I like the yellow. This is my favorite sequin from the Simon Says Stamp Shop. This is the confetti style starshine. So you're going to get a whole bag. That's going to last you for a while. And then, I'm going to pull this out first. You're also going to get a piece of our Simon Says stamp cording, the silver cord. And this is just so that you can see how easy it is to use these with some of the tags. Plus, one of the bonus cards I'm going to show you also uses some of the cording. And then we have our little namesake kit, stamps. This is called Christmas Joy. And I just wanted something that was versatile, that was a little Nordic in nature, and that lets us stamp. We're gonna stamp it out today. And sometimes I just love good, solid stamping projects. Yes, we're gonna have a little fun with some shine and some glitzy things, but these are the stamps that you have in your kit. And like Heidi said, they are available also separately right now. I think these are gonna be part of this regular shop, aren't they, Heidi?
They are, yep.
They're linked
Yeah.
in the chat.
We got them linked, so if you see what we make today and you're like, gosh, I wish I would have gotten those stamps, we got you. But the other part of the kit, you get all of the dies to cut out every single thing here. So, except for these little small sub-greetings, and those are that. But wait, there's more. Then we've got, I sound like a Ronco commercial. Now you can slice and dice with the triangle tags. And I made these because I thought, how cute would it be, number one, to coordinate with the cards you're going to make today with those triangle shapes. But also, you can use these to make little Christmas tree tags if you want. I have some fun samples to show you. And again, the dimension of these also works with the dimension of that tree, I call these trees. It's the same proportion, so they will work together. Then, because if you're going to have tags, you got to have greetings for your tags. So this little set is for making tags, and there's holiday themes in here, but there's also sent with love, for you. There's to and from stamps that you can stamp, and of course, because it's Heidi, we had to throw in all the dies for these as well. So this is just to help you make tags, but I also included like a little happy birthday, and I'll show you something at the end to give you an idea of how these can move beyond Christmas. You are also going to get a nice little piece of the Tim Holtz craft stock that, oh, it's wonderful, it's beautiful, and this is going to be so fun for cutting little bows. Hopefully you got a teacher's pet sticker, because it's not just Heidi. I love you all. And then last but not least is our cardstock for class. So you have a full sheet of Simon Says Stamp Sage, Audrey Blue, Cotton Candy. These are the colors. And now during class, when we're making a card, you might say, Cathy, I want to swap out something. Then you do you with these colors. It'll all make sense. But the beautiful thing is also, we have all of this white Neenah cardstock. This is the 110 pound that we are going to be using for that. So, Heidi, anything else to add about the kit before I show cards?
I think you designed an incredible stamp set, Cathy. I just love this Christmas Joy set.
Thank you so much. I love it too. And like I said, the fact that we were able to turn this into a class brings me some joy that you can't imagine. So let's take a look at the cards we are making today, because you haven't really seen a full-on shot of them. But these are the 3 cards that we are going to create in class together from scratch, right? There's no homework. We're going to do it one at a time, and then we're going to do some tags at the end. So this is card 1. We are going to start with Celebrate the Season. And so let's, should we do it, Heidi? Should we get started?
Yes, I would love to know,
Okay.
Cathy, while we're getting our stuff situated on the table in the chat. That's
Yes.
what's so fun about being live. I would
Yes.
love to know, those who are watching, who is planning on making live with us today? Let us know.
Oh, yeah.
I know your hands might be full, but just give us a little emoji in the chat if you are planning on making live with us today, because hey, all are welcome.
Yeah,
Cathy,
it
your
is-
teacher's pet sticker's upside down.
Oh gosh. Okay. See, I would not have been the teacher's pet. You know what? I've already just lost my angle. Okay. I want you to keep your cubes out, because we are going to start out with some stamping, but we have to do a little bit of prep with die cutting. So Heidi, grab your paper trimmer and get one of the sheets of the Neenah cardstock. Okay. And we're going to cut this down. And as Reed just popped up a graphic, one of our panels is going to be cut to 3 3/4 by 5. Now that is going to be used in just a little bit, but I want everyone to take their cardstock, and we're just going to cut this in half at 5 1/2 and then in half again. So you're basically, we're making 4 panels that are 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Okay. And that is, well, actually this is going to get us through, I think, a card and a half. So got to do a little prep first. But again, we didn't want to do homework because we just thought, we want to do all this stuff together. You know, we're gonna enjoy card making together. All right.
Let's be honest, I never really did my homework when I was in school either.
You know what, Heidi? I was a Cliff Notes kind of girl, so I feel you. I think every report I ever did was well, using the notes. Oh, I forgot. We're going to trim this down. I'm going to take the one panel. I was getting a little ahead of myself. This is the panel that you're going to cut to the measurements you see on screen. So it's 3 3/4, right there, by 5. And that's actually one of my favorite sizes for a card panel. You can take this and then set this panel aside. I have like a little lid that I just kind of put things in so I don't lose them, because how many of you out there have been working on a project and suddenly everything goes missing? That's me. Okay. All right. Now, I'm going to keep this kind of where you can see it. How about right there? Is that good, Reed? Right, what,
Right
there.
Perfect.
Right about
I love it.
there.
Right
Oh,
there.
okay, right there. Okay, so the ink cubes that we are going to use are, get your ballerina, and get your sage. Is it sage or aspen? I think it's actually the aspen that I want. And we're going to get the ocean. Okay, so these are the 3, not the sage. I wanted to just set those out. And now we're going to get our stamps. Take one piece of the cardstock that you just cut, okay, that's just the 4 1/4 by 5 1/2, and you can just set these aside where you will not lose them, because we're going to use all of the cardstock that we cut today. Okay, If you have a stamp positioner, now is the time to get it out. A small MISTI works great. If you have the larger one, if you have a stamp wheel, whatever you do, grab it. You can also stamp with blocks, but you know, I feel like if you have a MISTI, go for it, right? Now, I want to talk about the stamps really quick. I am going to use my set that I've been stamping with all along. However, if you are just opening your stamps today with us, I'm going to tell you a little trick. So let's pretend I've never, well, I'm opening this up. It's actually reality. We're in reality right now. If you haven't stamped with your stamps, I want you to take your meaty hooks and just do this. Why am I doing this? Well, here's the thing. Photopolymer is an amazing material. We love it. It allows us to have so many beautiful stamps, but in the process of making these stamps, it gets a little coating, right? And sometimes when you stamp right out of the gate for the first time, you think, why is it pooling the ink on my stamp? It's just because of that coating. And as you use them, they get more and more conditioned and they stamp beautifully. But I always do this with my stamps first. And actually, I want to show you because I have it here somewhere. In the Simon Says Stamp Shop, we have these Altenew stamp conditioners. And I don't know how many of you have these, but you can also do it with the stamp conditioner. But that way your stamps are conditioned and they're ready to be stamped with. So you know what? I am going to stamp with these because I have 2 sets and I'm not afraid to use them. Okay. Reed, how's everyone doing out there? Any questions? Are we functioning?
Everyone's doing great. They're really excited to see what you're going to make. And just a reminder, if you're following along, that card to the left is what we're working on first.
Yes, that is our card project for those of you who like to have the visual. So what we're going to do is we're going to grab the stamps that we need and we're going to try to use as much of the cardstock as possible, right? I like to, I like to save where I can, and we're going to place it down so that there's going to be room for the dies, right, to cut these out. But also, we're going to try to get as much use out of the paper as we can. So, just kind of push these up towards the top.
So these images are going to be die cut. Is that what you're
Yes.
saying, Cathy? Okay.
Yep. We're going to stamp them first. Now, here's a little thing, though. I personally sometimes like to isolate my colors when I'm doing stamping like this, and that will make sense in a minute. But I'm going to take that Celebrate the Season, and I think I'll put that down here. You just want to make sure that you have enough room so that dies can fit around the pieces. And then also there's these cuties. These are they're like little snowflakes, maybe stars. And we're going to put those also on here. And you want to make sure you leave just a little bit of room for one more of those. So Heidi, how are you doing? Are you getting your pieces lined up?
I think so. I have 2 little star pieces. Does that sound about right?
Yes,
1,
that
2?
is perfect. Yep, perfect. Oh, and you're stamping on your little sticky mat. I love that. I don't have one of those, but I like those.
I know where you can get one.
Can you hook me up and tell me where to buy one of those?
I'll just send you one, Cathy. Don't you dare buy one.
Oh my gosh, I feel very lucky. Okay, and if you'll notice, Heidi had in her camera, we're both going to be using a little, the Pink Fresh slider glider tool for stamping today, because we got a lot of stamping. So now that you've got everything placed, let's pick it up with the MISTI door. And my little this guy came off. So let me make sure I'm in the right place to give more. Yeah, I think that's going to be good. Okay, let's start with Aspen. So what we are going to be stamping, and I'm going to do this one at a time. I'm not going to try to ink up all the colors at once because I don't like to think that I'm accidentally going to hit something that I don't want to hit. So we're going to ink up Celebrate the Season, the biggest tree, and the biggest little dealy bob. We're going to do that in Aspen. So get your cubes. And we're going to probably do it twice because, as our friend Laura Basson says, twice is nice. We're going to stamp here, or ink here.
I just
And
want to
then
get the word
ink.
dillybob added to the Webster's dictionary. Rachel Ray got XEVOO added, so we could get dillybob added.
Little dilly bob. Okay, and then you're going to transfer that ink. And voila, you have stamped one
Whatever
set.
you do, Reed, don't show mine.
You got it.
Now
I thought you
I-
were about to ask me to show it.
Now I am going to stamp it twice because, you know, you're going to get the goodness. And the thing is, too, when you do it by color, and again, you can also do them all at once, but I just like knowing this color is going here, and I'm going to take my little Pink Fresh glider, glide it on down. Okay, and then once this comes up, our greens are done. Now this looks very different from this, trust me. It's going to, and I hope I didn't switch, no, it's going to dry back and it's going to look beautiful.
You're using
So,
Aspen?
I am using Aspen, yes. And I'm going to wipe this down with, I'm just using like a little Lawn Fawn chamois. And because I don't want to deal with these again, I'm going to take these off. Just take them off. Take off the ones we just stamped, okay? And you can put them right back on your sheet. And that's what I'm going to do, popping it on my sheet over here. And let's see, that big one, yep, we're done with that. Beautiful, beautiful. Okay, now we can move on to our ballerina color. And so for the ballerina color, we've got this guy here and one of these little guys here. So we repeat. I think the thing that I love about this set is it just feels like one of those things that when I first started making cards, kind of that joy of stamping period. And sometimes I feel like in card making, I'll get away from that because I'm thinking about other techniques but I love stamping. It's just, you know, it's a fun thing.
It's satisfying. It's like you don't need to know how to draw or be good at drawing to stamp.
Right, right. All right, so I'm going to clean that off as well. And then, of course, we're going to take this big guy off so we don't think about him again. And I'll just pop him back onto my sheet. Let's line you up, and make sure, okay, this guy is going to be in color, but this guy, remember this little guy that we just did? We need to pick it up and we need to move it because this also has to be done in blue. So I'm just going to see if I have the positioning right here. Let's do that. Yeah. You just want to place it where it has enough room to be die cut. All right. And then grab your ocean cube and we're going to ink this up. Ocean is a gorgeous color. And I will tell you, one of my thinkings, the thought process behind this palette, in a sense, stay with me here. This is, and you might, we're only going to do that once because it's so dark. I feel like this is a Christmas palette where we have just a different kind of green and a very different kind of red, if you will, because if you add a lot of white to red, you're going to get a pink. So I feel like this is, like, in theory, it's a traditional palette. It's just more of the, I don't know, I guess I call it that kind of Nordstrom Christmas where they're going to do something that's a little unexpected, right? And, well, that's what we're doing today. Oh, and that's the other thing, too. You know, for anyone who thinks, Cathy, I really think you're a fine person, but this is not my palette, you can swap out, right, for any colors that you have and want to play with. Okay.
Cathy, this is a good
So
time
that-
for me to interrupt and bring my,
Yeah.
and you've given me permission, I just want to make it official,
Oh,
to go a little
yeah.
bit rogue, right? So I'm using these colors, but if I use them in a different way, Cathy told me yesterday she's okay with me going rogue. Are you still okay with me going rogue?
I am still okay. In fact, I would expect nothing less.
Okay.
Because you have, and the thing is too, when you go rogue, all right, we're going to pick this up. The great part about it is you show other ways that you can do things. Okay, so we are going to move on to some die cutting. Heidi, how's your piece looking? What do you got going? I gotta see
Do I have
what
the
my
green light or should we wait a little bit longer?
Yeah, let me know, Heidi. If
You have the
does she
green
have the
light.
green-
Okay, we're going to
Okay.
show Heidi's
I don't know.
progress.
Just kind of, people are going to be happy with what I'm doing. But I'm mixing colors a little bit.
Heidi, you. I
thought it was
love
cool.
the blend out. Okay, so see, that's an example, right? You can take these colors, and the weird thing is, you don't think that initially they're going to go well, the blue and green go great, but they actually work together really, really well. And again, I've got some things to show you at the end where I overlapped these colors and combined them in ways that are really fun. And hopefully by the time you're done, you're going to look, I love that.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah,
Big
I
fan.
think
That
that
looks
looks
great.
fabulous. Oh, okay. I love it, Heidi. You're ready. Okay, we're ready to move to the die cutting phase, the die cutting portion for card 1. So go ahead and grab your dies out. Now I have a full set here that I've already, I've already been using them a lot. So I think I
You've been
put them. This is
practicing.
one of those Gina magnets. And now we're going to cut everything out at once. So that's where, even though we don't like stamp every stamp at once, now we can cut everything out at once. Heidi, do you have a little magnet wand with you? Because when we sell these at Simon, and I told Heidi, we need these in the store. Because when I have my dies sitting on a magnet, I kind of hate digging with my nails, but I love to pick them up with these guys, right? Yeah. So now you're just
To
going
answer
to
your
cut
question, I don't have.
Oh.
Oh, I do have one, Brian. You guys are so helpful. He was running out to the warehouse to get me one. I've got one.
Okay, good. Because again, it's like, do you need that tool? And you know what these are for, right? They're for magnetic manicures. It takes the metal pigment in a manicure or in a liquid that has in magnetic nail polish, and it like puts it together. The magnet kind of pulls it to the middle, and you create a cat's eye look, which is really cool. But I don't ever do those. But then I started using my wands for die cutting, and that's when I said to Heidi, hey, she gets a lot of emails from people where people say things like, hey, what if we can we have this? And she usually says yes. So,
Well, you
okay.
have great ideas.
Well, thank you. I wish more people thought that, Heidi. God bless you. Okay. We're gonna tape everything in place though, because both Heidi and I are using our Intricuts today, and I like to hedge my bets and make sure nothing's gonna move. So that's why I tape things. And this is a really great tape, this Easy C tape. Mostly, well, I would say 99% of the time, this tape has never torn any of my paper. And that's another reason that I love it. And I don't know how many of you out there use it, but if you do, you know. All right, we're gonna line up Celebrate the Season. And then we'll have to cut this little star shape twice. A twinkle shape. I don't know what to call that. But the dies are pretty easy to line up. I'm just going to take my time here and get it here. Now, I'm curious in the chat, even though I can't really see the chat because I don't have any other technology running, how many of you are going to be using this as the springboard to get started with your holiday cards? Because if you have a large list, right, it takes some time. It takes some time to make handmade cards.
That's what I love about the Christmas in July theme, Cathy, is it really does prompt me to get going and moving. It makes the holiday season much less stressful when I've had a head start.
Yep.
So
and
thank you.
I mean, I think makers, we like hand making cards, and even if some people think, wait, why are you talking about Christmas in July? They might not be crafters. Do you know what I mean? Like it's like, well, it makes perfect sense for us because we want to do cards, and yeah, so that's that. Okay, I have everything taped into place, and I am going to grab my die cut machine. All right, where are you? Oh, I put it on a side table so I didn't have to lift it off the ground and make a noise that sounded like this. Because I didn't want people to think that I was trying to get some, weightlifting in here while I was doing class. Okay. Now, I will tell you, when I cut this particular cardstock, I have it set on die cut, and I'm always at about -3 on my intercut. I find that works pretty well with the Neenah Classic Crest. And we're gonna open it. Oh, you go out of the way there. We're gonna seal it down. And of course, with the intercut, this is the cutting mat. And then the plate guy goes on top. I'm actually gonna do it right here. There we go. Stack. And we're gonna run it through.
So Cathy, how did you mentioned the Neenah Classic Crest, that's the white cardstock we're using. How did
Yeah.
you decide that was the cardstock you wanted to use for your class?
Well, this cardstock, now I find it to be a little bit life-changing. And leave this open because we've got to cut one more little guy. It's just, when I started making cards, I really didn't know what people used. And of course, I did all my research. And by research, that's a code word for watching hours and hours and hours of Jennifer McGuire and Gina Kay on YouTube. That was my research. And that's when I learned about this cardstock. And it is a beautiful white cardstock. It's very smooth. And it's such an all-purpose, but it's the bright white aspect of it that I absolutely loved. And I have loved it ever since. And so on the days that I run out of this particular cardstock, you don't want to be in this room with me. I sob to the heavens. But I don't know. It's such a classic. It's such a good product. And if you have a stash of it, I don't think you'll regret it. It's just my favorite. So it's the one that I use for everything. And I'm glad that we carry it too in the store, because yeah, and if you've never tried it, you can order a small pack and you can see the magic for yourself. Okay, we have to cut out one more little guy. So I'm gonna take these, and just for right now, so I don't lose them, because my desk, or my studio desk, it's kind of a mess right now. I'm just gonna put these on trays so I do not lose them, okay?
Cathy,
And
when
look
you were
at how
designing,
that,
okay.
oh, go ahead.
You're the
Yes,
teacher.
my dear?
Go ahead.
No, you go ahead.
How did you decide and come up with the idea for the concept of these stamps? People in the chat are asking.
Oh, well, okay. I love trees. I love trees. I love any interpretation of a tree, but especially a more graphic look for trees. And so I was looking for inspiration for modern trees, and happened across some artwork for trees like this. And I thought, I'm buying that artwork, I'm licensing it, and I'm going to build a stamp set around it. And it was for that kind of slightly Nordic, slightly modern. Trees are some of my favorite images for holidays, because I think they're super all-purpose. And you can actually use tree shapes for other things too. It doesn't just have to be holiday, but it's just my love of trees. And so that's where it started, with these 3 images. And then, of course, for me, I love designing typography that I think is going to work really well with that tree. I found a font that I loved that had a few of these little swoop-de-doo. They're called descenders and ascenders, and they just, I don't know. I loved how it looked together. It's fun to design stamps. You don't know sometimes where you're going to end up. Like, you'll start with an idea, and this idea just kept growing, and then I thought, well, I'll put some ornaments in. And yeah, it just kind of evolved from there. Now, I have a little tip for all of us that are die cutting. Don't throw this away. Don't throw away this little negative, because we're going to cut some cardstock from this that we may need. So set it somewhere where you won't lose it, okay? Heidi, did you get your cutting done? Are you good?
I'm all good. Yep.
Okay. Now for the magic that Heidi loves. Okay, we're gonna get some glitter going. All right. So we have our pieces here, and here's our card. We have our glitter. Now Heidi has something pretty cool that I sent to her, and you may not have this, and that's fine, because this came from like a craft store 20 years ago, or not that long. We both have tins, and these tins, there's a story behind them. I think Dan got them at Michael's. My husband's name is Dan. He was in grad school to become a teacher about 12 years ago, and he had to do a final project, and he had to put all these pretend seed packets. Anyway, when he was done, he's like, "Do you have any need for these?" And I said, "Yes, I will always find a need." So this is our glitter bin. But the thing I want to show you that I showed Heidi the other day when we were preparing for class is this. If you are a fan of the rock candy, the full size, they both fit in the tin. So ding, 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 ding. So that is literally where I keep my rock candy. And it's a great thing because you can get messy in here and you'll pour your glitter over and it pours back in and you are going to be golden. So I just wanted to show you the tins. So Heidi, we're going to try to find something like this eventually, but isn't that fun? So if you don't have a tin or a little bowl, grab yourself a piece of paper, like a piece of copy paper, fold it in half, and that is what you're going to use for your glitter, okay? It's easy peasy breezy. So now we glue. I'm going to take, and by glue, I mean glue and glitter. We're going to take all these little pieces out, and I need my tweezers here. And we're going to add glue and glitter to each one. So this is where you will need a paintbrush. A paintbrush, grab any paintbrush you have. And in fact, for all of you who are doing this along with me, if you can, get a little cup of water. I just have this little pitcher of water. Get a little jar of water just so that when you're done gluing, you can swirl your paintbrush around so that you can get that glue off and it won't stick and ruin your brush. I'm going to set this panel aside and I am going to grab a paintbrush. You can use really any brush you have. I have a number 4 brush. I think this is an Altenew brush. I have so many different little paintbrushes. Just something that's more of a round tip is going to be what we need to do this. And your glue. So grab your glue. Now, a lot of times when people are gluing on projects, like if they're adding glitter, they use glossy accents. And glossy accents is a great product, but I really don't use it a ton. I find that I reach for glue if I'm going to do this. The other thing I wanted to tell you, if you have a glue pen, you can also do this with a glue pen as well. It's probably a little neater, but I like this craft glue because it's going to give you a slightly irregular look, an edge to each thing you do. So here's what you can do. Take a piece of scrap paper. It doesn't matter. I'm actually just going to grab a Post-it note because I have Post-it notes everywhere. And this is just going to be like a little place to squeeze out my glue. Now I'm going to move this card just for now as we prepare for the glittering. So have your glitter handy. I also now this is a risky thing. I like to take the lid off my glitter so I'm prepared to add it. Just don't do what I literally did a few days ago when I was making some sample cards. I knocked the whole thing over and had to funnel it all back in. But you know, you live and you learn. We've all been there. Okay, so what we're going to do is I'm going to show you 2 ways you can do this. First of all, take your glue. And also, how's the pace out there? You guys doing okay? Because I hope I'm not going too fast. I'll take a sip of coffee so I can get more caffeinated.
You're not going too fast.
Yeah, pace is good. I haven't seen any comments. So
Okay.
You're doing great.
Okay, take your craft glue that's in your kit. Oh, did I just bend my, hold on a second. I'm going to grab my other one. Okay. Take your craft glue and just on a piece of scrap paper, you're going to squeeze out like a ribbon, just like that. Okay? And what we're going to do is we are going to, now this is where I will say, if you want to use tweezers, you certainly can. But this is one way to do this. You are going to take each edge and dip it in the glue. Just the edge.
Oh, I've never done this before.
Okay, see, isn't that, you just dip it in the glue. Okay, it's good. It doesn't have to be perfect. Dip it in the glue.
Great idea.
Now listen,
Cathy.
we're gonna get a little messy here. Hold it in the center like this. Dip it in the glue. Okay, you want glue on all sides. Look how awkwardly I'm holding it. It's okay, because then what are you gonna do? You're gonna pour glitter on it, and it's gonna be kind of chunky. This is really awkward, but trust me. you end up with a chunky, glittered, gluey patootie. Isn't that fun? Now, you may have glue all over, or you may have, what am I calling it? You may have glitter all over your hands like I do right now, but that's okay, because now you're gonna take, again, I'm gonna grab that little tray that I had, and I'm just gonna drop it down. One is done. And you want it to be, yes, Heidi, that's perfect. Messy, chunky, glittery glue. That's one.
I love it.
I do too. Now, I will let you all in on a little secret. I have a Swiffer from a cloth here that I will wipe glitter off my hands with because I am a bit of a neatnik. But that's one way to do it, okay? Here's another way. Take your tweezers. Let's say you're more of a neatnik and you don't want to do that. You can also just do this. Add a little more glue, like that. Pick it up with your paintbrush, and you're going to paint it along the edges. Okay? And you're going to skip over the part that has that there, because you can add that after the fact, meaning where your tweezers, don't paint over your tweezers, but you're just going to paint it right on. Now, you can be messy with this. You don't have to be super precise, because wherever that is painted, your glue is going to stick. And then you sprinkle it on. And then what's fun about that, you can tap your little glitter guy there. Now, you do need to add that last little bit that you missed, so just grab onto your piece and pour. Like that. And then I'm going to take this guy, pop him, whoops, pop him right like that. So then we're just letting that dry. Now here's the thing, you know, for people who love glitter, you know who you are. And this rock candy is really fun to play with. I do like the painting because I feel like for me, it just gives me, you know, just a little more control. The paint lasts quite a while here. It stays wet and, you know, you don't have to worry about it drying too fast, but we're just painting it on. Now, for mass production of Christmas cards, you'd have to be set up. I would suggest, for example, let's say you're like, I love this design. I want to do at least 25 Christmas cards with this setup. Just get everything stamped first, and then you sit down and you have a glue party with yourself or your closest friends. You know what I mean? And I'm
Turn
actually
on
gonna
the glitter party.
turn on the glitter party, you know? If you have kids, get your kids involved. Do you know how much fun it would be to have glitter stations? I mean, yes, you might be cleaning that glitter out for the next 20 years, but at least you'll know I had some really pretty trees.
Is
Okay.
anybody wondering where all those little confettis are coming from for my glue? Kathy, remember how you said you dumped my glitter? How you dumped it on the table and put it back in the jar? Well, I did the same thing, and I had confetti sequins on the table, so now they're in with my glitter.
Oh my God.
If you're all wondering why Heidi has sequins in her glitter but nobody else does.
Oh my gosh, yeah,
So
I
it
just
happens
noticed
to
that
all of
now.
us.
Yep, well, Heidi has a secret surprise because she is special, and you know, that's what we do. Okay, now for the greeting too, just do the same thing. And if you feel like you need more glue, go ahead, you know, spray a little more out, squeeze a little more out, that's the word I was looking for. And then just go around the edge of your die cut for the greeting. And we repeat. So it's easy, it's fun. You can see how if you have a glue pen too, you can just use your glue pen all around the edge. But one of the things I do like when I'm crafting is trying to find different uses for some of my common products. And I feel like a lot of us have liquid glue, and there's more we can do than just glue with it, you know? So anytime you can use a product for double duty or triple duty, you know, you do it because it dries clear.
When did you start using the tweezers, Kathy? At what stage in your crafting career? I still have not been a tweezers adapter. I feel like I'm the only one.
Probably like Heidi, the first year. There's a lot of things that it's funny because I go back sometimes, and sometimes YouTube will recommend to me an old video, And I definitely do some things differently now than I did in, back when I started making cards in 2017. But tweezers were like always part of it. Always. Like as soon as I saw the option for tweezers, and I think it's because, when you're designing something, the main reason, like when you're working on a card and you really want to see where that greeting's going, for me, it was always if my hand is in the way, right? I can't really see what I'm doing. Oh yeah, look at that, Heidi. I don't know if mine will focus nicely too. I love the multicolor. It's so pretty. And doesn't that look like shiny snow?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, okay. But yeah, it's so nice to be able to see. Oh, and now I have to cover the part that I didn't get glitter on.
Cathy.
It's just nice to be able to see where your greeting is going with your hand not in the way.
Cathy,
And
there's a question from the chat. They're
Yeah.
asking, is there a way to remove glitter from an area you don't want it?
Well, if you have like, you could try with like a craft pick, or even, it's funny, if there's glitter and it's just sticking, you can try a couple things. You can take your little, if you have one of these wax tips, you can kind of try picking up little bits of glitter with a wax tip, or you could use, and now I can't find, oh yeah, I do. You could try using an adhesive eraser to try to get where you had your glitter, and if there's glue there too, this will work. So I find adhesive erasers to be really nice tools. Okay, that one's done. Oh my gosh, we're looking at the time. I'm like, we're gonna have some fun today, Heidi. Well, the thing is though too, I like to take my time when I make cards, and we're gonna be here together for a while. Okay,
I think
so
we
do
said
this
the goal was like 2 to 3 hours. Heidi is the camera that has the teacher's pet sticker on it.
Yes.
People
that
in the
is-
chat were asking. Cathy
Okay.
said 2 to 3 hours is this class length. Closer to
Yeah.
3 probably.
Okay, and see, look, we still haven't depleted the entire jar yet, and that's also something that is great because this pours back in so easily. Okay, I'm just going to go over the part that I was holding with my tweezers, and that little guy, done, and we'll do the last two. So the fun thing with this is the glue and the glitter are going to have a second to set up and get solid while we work on our background, which we're going to just stamp with a block. Now you are welcome to use your Misty tool if block stamping makes you nervous, but I promise you it's so easy to do with the stamp in the set. And that's another thing too. I bought a Misty when I very first started making cards, like right out of the gate. And then the owner of the Misty sent me a Misty. I had bought one and she sent me one too, so I had 2 sizes to play with. And it really wasn't until I'd been making cards for a couple years that I started to feel confident using a block. And now I love the opportunity to use a block when it arises, you know what I mean? So I've gotten more confident. It depends on what I'm stamping, of course, but all right, we're getting it going. One more to go. But I do enjoy a little block stamping. See, look, the glue lasts. The glue lasts. Okay. And the last one. Now, if you were really feeling wild, you could cover the whole image with the glue because it's going to be sparkly and clear. But I think the edge is pretty cute to do it on. So there we go. And you there. Now the reason the jar of water comes in handy is because I don't want this to stick. And the nice thing is, the glue that is, if you rinse off your brush right away, your brush is going to be fine. But those are my pieces. I'm going to open my little jar and just give this a really good swirl. And if you're watching at home, you don't have water, just run to your sink and just give your brush a good rinse, but that gets all the glue off and it should be fine. All right. And now I'm going to put my lid back on because I do not want to spill that water all over the place. I also want to show you another little tip. This is unrelated to anything other than what I do. Whenever I am capping my glue. Doesn't matter what type of glue I'm using. I take a little rubbing alcohol, which I keep in a little, this is just like a little Hero Arts water mister, but I put an alcohol sticker on it. This is just your basic drugstore stuff. And I clean my tip really well, get all the glue off, give it a little tap, close it up. And I swear to you, just that little wipe off keeps it from clogging, and it's pretty great. Okay, so now you can take your jar. Now, if you have a piece of folded paper, you're just going to fold it in half, just like if you were putting embossing powder back in. But here, these little bins, everything just goes back in like that. And like I said, the thing is, we just did all that glittering, but just look, it's like, did we really use any? I don't know. You tell me. It doesn't even, this is going to last you. So again, if you've never
Sprinkle
used
some
rock
around
candy, you're going to love it. You're going to love it. Okay. Okay. Now remember the panel that we cut. First of all, how you doing, Heidi? Are you glittered?
I'm glittered.
Okay, you're glittered. All right.
Do you want
the
panel that we cut, the 3.75 times 5, that one?
Yes, yes.
Okay.
And if you have a block and you want to go a little free range stamp with us, grab your block. And we're going to get our stamps back out. And in the stamp set, and I will, let me wipe I've got some glue liquid here. There we go. All right. I am going to tell you this. That is your little splatter stamp. And so we're going to pick it up. Now, the cool thing about this little stamp is it doesn't really look like much, but it's so versatile, and it almost can it looks splattery, but it also kind of looks like twinkly. So I think this is really fun. We are going to create a little background on our white panel to be a little grounding area for our design. Now, I am choosing to use the ballerina just because I think it's nice and pretty. I might actually zoom in just a tiny bit here. I think it's a nice color. You could do any of the 3 colors. I wouldn't say don't do the dark ocean, because I think that would be a little overwhelming, but you could do the green as well here if you like. And all we're going to do is we're just going to stamp a random pattern. Now, you could get wild and mix and match it if you wanted. You could use the darker fairy, but all I'm going to do is start at the top, a little bit down from the top, maybe like 1/4 of an inch, and lift. And then we're going to repeat this. So we're going to go all the way down. And the thing about this stamp is it's got sort of that little U shape. So you can kind of turn it and wedge it right inside here, like that. And it does not have to be perfect. You can overlap this, whatever floats your stamping boat, that's what you're going to do. We're just making a background. So I'm placing it like that.
Floating my stamping boat.
You're floating your boat, Heidi. We're sailing on the good ship Simon, and the skies are clear. I don't know. No, the skies. Oh, speaking of the skies, for those of you who don't know, I live in Minnesota, and we had some crazy smoky. Yesterday, we were number 3 as worst air quality in the entire world on the globe. And even my husband said, well, it's pretty bad out there. And if he says that, you know it's bad. Because he never complains about anything. He was like, it's pretty bad. Okay, see how this looks right here? It's cute, right? Now I'm going to tell you a little tip. You can also, if you don't want to go all the way off, or you want to just play with a certain area, clean off your stamp and then just ink part of the stamp. That way you can come in and kind of fill out the design, you know, without going all the way off. And that's kind of how I did it when I made my cards for this class. Just stamped up part of it so I could have a little more filled in there, maybe. And then I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. This is really just meant to be for whatever you think this is going to look good. It's going to look good. I'm going to take just a little here, like that, and I'm going to stamp it down. And that is all you have to do. So it kind of looks a little random. That's your pattern. And there you go. Okay. Heidi, how are you doing with your random stamping? I'm actually just going to leave this on the block because we're going to use it again for the next card. Oh, yeah, you're golden. Okay.
I did fairy.
I love fairy, and fairy also dries back beautifully. So these are the components that we currently have, right? Oh, I can zoom out a bit. And now I want you to grab the 8.5 by 11 piece of cardstock in cotton candy. So it's the pink color. I will grab my sheet. Here we go. And you will need your paper trimmer again. And
I like how
I'm
thick the
going to
cardstock
cut.
is.
It's so this is a great color too. This is one of my favorite pinks all time. It is such a beautiful pink. It's not, I don't know, like, yes, it's girly, but it's I love it. It's a heavy weight. It's 100 pound, and I want you to cut yours at 5.5 because we're going to score it and use this for our note card. And Heidi, I have a question for you. Are you more of a side fold card maker or a top fold when you make your note cards?
Probably traditionally side fold, but I tend to make cards that I see other people. I'm a little bit of a card copier. I see what
Okay.
other people make, like you
Yeah.
in class, and I just do whatever is done.
Yeah.
What about
I
you,
love
Cathy?
Listen, I was almost exclusive top fold when I started. For portrait cards, I was 100% top fold. That changed this year. I don't know why. And by the way, we're going to score it at 4.25 to make our card, our USA2 card. I switched, and now I feel like I can't stop. I love the side fold mostly because they stand up so nicely on display. And I'm like, I don't know why it took me that long to make that connection, but I've not looked back. And now I am obsessed with the side fold cards. So that's my story. And I think that's my new trend. So that is your note card. Okay? Now we have our elements, right, to finish the card. So you have foam squares in your kit. You can use foam squares for this if you are one of these people who, where did I put mine, who like to conserve your foam squares. You can also use foam tape, and I think I will, I think I'm going to use foam squares, and if I run out, I think I'll be fine. But I am a big fan of foam tape. In fact, I will show you a very all-purpose tape that I love, and I'll use this on the next card. It's the Big Mama roll from Simon Says Stamp because it is a thin loft, but it's a narrow width, but it's a really nice amount of lift just for a subtle lift, and it mails beautifully, right? Sometimes if we pop things up a little too high, it might be a little thick in the envelope, and then you're never sure, like, do I need more postage? And I always err on the side of, yes, you need more postage. But yes, it's a lovely one, but we'll use squares on this because these work great too. And these, I don't know, Heidi, did everyone get the same squares in their kit, or was it a mix?
I'm really not sure about who got what squares.
I love giving squares. Okay, now the other tip that is my favorite thing that I've been doing since the early days of card making is I put liquid glue, a little dollop, on every foam square that I place. Or foam, well, I don't do it as much with foam tape because it gives you just a little bit of wiggle room when you are placing your piece. I love that tip. Yeah, and then you're not super bummed at yourself when you put something down and you're like, why did I put it there? You know what I'm saying? So that's, yeah, I'm gonna come in just a little
That's
here.
a new
All
thing
right.
I've only started doing because I've seen you and some other online teachers doing that. I think it's a great tip. If you guys are watching, pay attention to this hottie. This is a gold nugget.
This is a golden nugget because, excuse me, I lost my voice. I was so excited. It just gives you what you need. Now, I always stand up. Even though I'm a sit-down card maker, I am standing up right now looking on the bird's eye view. I am hovering above like a crafty drone. And then I can see all four sides, drop it down, it wiggles a little until I know it's where I want it, and press. And there you go. It's my little hot tip. Okay. And now we can start adding some foam to our pieces. Now this is where I will say, I think we should cut some of our foam squares because you're not going to need, you know, every piece to be large. But we're going to start here on the back. I'm going to do a little triangle cut like this, because when you do that, then it fits beautifully into the corners, you know, mostly like that. And then I'll do one more triangle cut. I actually can do a couple here. I like to cut my foam squares on my sheet, even though the sheet starts to get really messy looking after a while. I swear to you, and I'll show you, all of my foam squares are like cut into sheets, and because I cut on the sheet and keep the sheet together. Just works for me. It works for me. And then one here at the top. And we're going to start figuring out the placement of the elements. Now, if your glue is a little tacky, that's okay. Don't worry. Just try not to handle it, you know. Don't handle it as much as, you know, give it a second, but try not to squeeze it too much. And I'm going to take this also, Heidi, and do some little strips. I also like glue strips. And I also like to use my craft pick to place those strips, because I feel like I'm playing a game of Operation. Little foam square surgery here. We're gonna put them, yeah, that's probably good. I'll get you here, and that should be enough. I am an over adheser in general, and you know, I have some good qualities about me too, so I'm not too worried about being.
I think that is a good quality, Cathy, because when we spend this much time, energy, and love to make a handmade card, we don't want it to fall apart in the mail.
No.
I've had that happen. I was skimpy and cheap when I was 26 years old, and I couldn't afford to buy more than one sheet of foam squares. I was skimpy with them, but then my cards would go on my mom's refrigerator and the pieces would fall off.
Do you know, we all know Jennifer McGuire, right? We know her because she's, you know, a legendary card maker, and she's a dear friend. And I sent her a card once, and I asked her, did you get my card? She goes, oh, I did. She goes, I loved it. And I said, okay. And she goes, everything fell off of it, but I loved your idea. Like everything I had put on the card, I didn't use it. I'm like, I have no idea. Like, did she think I was sending her a card? Just assemble yourself. Do you know what I mean? So I decided, you know, I think what we'll do is we're just going to spare the rod and spoil the adhesive, and yeah. Okay, yeah. I also put my little foam, we're going to put them on the little tree guys as well. But here's the thing, or the toppers. On the blue guy, this is going to go right onto the card without any pop-up. But this pink one, I want to pop it up a little higher. Okay, I want it to be slightly higher than the tree. So here's the little trick with, oh, it's sticking in my finger. Here's the little trick with that piece of cardstock that we had before. Remember that piece? We're gonna cut a little bolster. I guess that's what you would call it. I want to add a little extra cardstock on this side of the tree. Now, that might seem like, well, that's a lot, Cathy. Do you really need to do that? Yes, you do, because what it's gonna do, all right, see this here? We're going to put it on this side. It's going to raise up the cardstock so that when I put my foam square on, it is going to be taller than, and I'm going to set that down right there. It's going to be taller and it's going to clear the other one. So I'm going to take this little piece like that. Okay, doesn't have to be pretty, just stick a piece down and then cut one more little piece. Add your glue. It's just for, and a lot of people wouldn't do this. You might not even have to do this, but I love to have my pop-ups be as level as possible. And now when I take my foam squares, and I'm going to cut a few more, I hope this isn't confusing because I do this all the time, kind of behind the scenes. This now becomes that much thicker than the foam square. So it's going to float over that other tree like that. Just a little higher and a little more even than if I used a regular foam square. So there's that. And then we'll just put these guys on too. Okay, and can I just say, it is really nice to not have to race through cards. I hope for the people crafting along that this pace is, you know, easy to follow, because there's a lot that went into this design. I mean, it's, you know, there's a lot of little steps, but, you know, once you get one of these done too, it just, if you're mass producing them, it just gets easier and easier. Okay, so now, oh, nope. You want the color of this, of the little twinkle star to match your tree. Okay? And now we can start adhering these down. Heidi, where are you at? What are we looking at on Heidi's table? Got to check in with my star student. Oh, I love it. I love it. Okay. Heidi, have you glued anything yet?
All of this is glued, but I don't like my third triangle, so I'm trying to decide if I just want to put my little piece somewhere.
I like your third triangle. I mean, you know what you could do? You could just stamp and cut one more triangle where you did more blue, like blend the two colors again. Like stamp another one. You have time? You could. I'm just saying.
Okay.
There is, you know, it's going to take me a while to get these glued on. So if you want to do that, I'm going to say, take this off. And I'm going to start with this little guy right here in the center. So if I get tree number 1 straight, then I know everything else is straight. And that's kind of how I roll. So I'm going to take my backers off here, in here. And then, get those tweezers in again. See, again, this is why I love it, because little dab of glue, hold that down. And then my hand's not, a little dab will do ya. Then my hand's not in the way, so I can see what I'm doing. And honestly, I never actually look at the numbers on the ruler. I know that I should, but I never do. I just use the ruler and I visually center it with my eyes. That doesn't always work, but a lot of times it does. And again, even if you place something down and it's not perfect, you know what? We are making handmade cards. We have to remind ourselves that, right, all the time. But this little bit of glue on there, it's going to give you that wiggle room. So then again, I just hover with those tweezers so that I'm basically centered. Like that. Okay? And while I'm here, I'm going to do the top tree topper. This I don't think I need glue because I feel like, yeah, I can do that right there. And now I can just place the others. So this will come here, and this guy is going to be glued right onto the note card. So that way you get some different levels of dimension on the piece. And we're going to slide it in. Oh, I hope I can get that in. It was supposed to go. There we go. Now, if you have a foam square placed in the way, you can always trim your little tree to fit in there. But see, that's just going to go right on there. And then this guy, like that. Okay. And drop it down. And then this little friend, we're going to lift off that specially elevated area we just made. And now if you want to, you can add a little glue to the side that's going to kind of sit on the other tree. Totally up to you. And that too, you want it to be about the same distance from that side. So it's going to overlap a little more, and it's going to come down a little more on the tree like that. So it looks staggered on purpose. And then we put the last piece on. Oop, and that is this card. So one and done. One is done, not one and done. We have so much. Sorry, Reed. Thank you. Good night, everybody.
Right?
Okay.
We'll see you later.
See you later. We told you we were going to be together for hours. We lied. And now Heidi and I take naps. No, naps will come later. They will
Heidi's
come
card
later.
in on the left.
Okay, see, Heidi, that looks good. You get a new one in there. And now we have our student rogue and that. And I actually really like the twinkle bean on the tree. That's super cute.
Well, I ran out of room up top. I did try to
you know
add
what?
glitter on the corners, but the glue is still drying.
That looks really, see, that's another really fun idea. Yes, you can totally have glue around the edge of your panel. But yeah, if you see it, you've got a little twinkle on there, that little spatter. I mean, the thing is, I feel like the spatter stamp does feel very twinkly and joyful. And yeah. So that's card one.
Thank you, Kathy.
Yay! Yay! All right. So card one done. Now I want everybody just to take a deep breath. And I'm going to grab I wrote out some instructions for myself, and I told Heidi and Reed that I wanted to stay on task here, so we have those there. And also, there is a PDF available, and I'm not sure when it will be on the Simon Says Stamp blog, but it has pictures of the cards so that if you want to have a picture to reference, again, you'll be able to see those photos on the blog too, so that you know what it is you're doing. Okay, so card one. Now, here's the next thing we're gonna do. Card two, I need for you to get a piece of copy paper. Lightweight, cheap, just regular old printer paper or copy paper, even a crappy piece of cardstock that you don't love. I'm gonna set these aside.
ASMR.
And there you go. I love it. Here, let's do that together, Heidi. No, some people don't like that, and I get it. I totally
really?
get it. Oh yeah. If you people who suffer from, it's called misophonia, they cannot stand ASMR type noises. It's like, yeah, it like rattles their brain in a very bad way. And so some people love it, some people don't. But I have copy paper that's pink. Do not think this is fancy paper. It is not. It's just like 20-pound. I buy it in reams because I use this for so many different things in my studio. We're gonna cut it into 4 pieces, just like we did with the white. Just cut it 5 1/2, turn it, because we're going to do some template stamping. Okay, and like that. And I'm gonna do that. And these are just, and again, I actually like having cheap paper in my studio that I'm not going to use. I don't like to use any of my good cardstock for any techniques that are going to be throwaways. I guess that's it. So I started using, cheap paper for this, and yeah, it kind of changed how I craft. Let me grab the card. Now, this is the card we're going to make. So we need to have our inks all handy dandy. I'm going to get them all lined up here so that I have what I need, because we are going to use all of the inks for stamping. And this is going to be very MISTI dependent, okay? So we are not cutting this panel yet. What I want you to do is grab another piece of your cardstock that you cut from the first card. We're going to set these aside. And then we're going to grab our dies. The dies that we want are the 3 package dies, okay? So 1.
Kathy, do you want the measurements up now or not yet?
Not yet, Reed, because we're away from that one for a little bit. But when we get there, you know it.
Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, so I am going to say we're cutting these out first, because the way we're going to get all this lined up so beautifully is making templates. And the first thing we need is to actually cut out all of the positives before we stamp. So we're going to stamp. So grab your die cut machine and, you know, place them. I guess if we place them roughly like I'm showing here, then you can use the leftover space to stamp the greetings and the other pieces. But these parts are really easy to stamp, so I'm not worried about that. But I say on your paper, you know, something like that, okay? And we're gonna run that through as well. So I'm gonna cover this up right now. And I'm going to grab my die cut machine, slide you over. See, that's the noise that I got. It's such a sturdy thing. I tell you, I love this machine. It is a goodie. And it makes me have strong upper arms. I don't know. I don't have strong arms. I have bird arms. That's okay. We're going to get it going through. Well, not bird arms, just bird wrists. That's the part of me that never changes. God love those wrists. Okay. So, you can put your die cut machine to the side, and we now have our pieces. Now I'm going to grab my little tray again, even though it's covered with glitter. That's okay, because I don't want to lose anything. And oh yeah, again, the reason I love these mats or the magnets, boop, 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 just picks them up. You don't have to dig. It's like a magic trick. I love it so much. Okay. All right. And we have our die cuts. So one there, and one here. Now you're going to take this piece and we're going to cut it apart to make templates. So I need scissors again. Come here, scissors. There we go. So I'm going to cut right like this. I'm just gonna kind of curve it around like that. And save this, because we're going to use this to stamp our greeting and the other pieces. Now, grab your stamp positioner. My guy is here. And we're going to take one of our little sample, or small, you know what I mean, these little scratch pieces, and pop it right into your, I'll put it that way, right into your positioner like that. Now we're going to take the stamps, and to start we need to get the bodies, or the boxes, the main parts of these packages, which are that little guy, this little guy, and this little guy. So those are the package parts. These, of course, are the bows. And we're going to stamp these on this particular sheet. And we're going to use our templates to frame everything out. And this is going to help when we get to the bow part. And you'll see, because it's a two-step stamp, right? So you're going to trim these down a little bit and just roughly place them so you know everything's going to fit. I am a big fan of template stamping, even when there's not a two-step stamp, only because for me, when I do this, it actually takes all the guesswork out of, oh, I hope once I stamp something that it turns out how I want it. But the other part here is if you are mass producing your cards and you set these up first, then you can just crank through and get so many things stamped at once, because you know they're all in the right place. So here's what we're going to do. This looks good. I don't need to tape yet. I'm going to pick up my stamps first, like that. Take these out. Now it doesn't matter what ink you use here, so just, grab the sage maybe. We're just going to stamp each of these down. So we have our guides, okay? And I'm just going to glide. Where did I put my little gliding tool? It's going to do that. So now we know where these go. And I'm going to clean off each stamp. Also, make sure when you clean off your stamp, just that it's completely dry before you come back at it with ink. I always try to keep this damp but not too wet for that very reason. Heidi, how are you doing? Do you have your templates? Are you grooving and moving?
I am, but I'm not sure if I did it right. Am I doing it right?
Oh, no. Let's see. Okay, so those are the negatives. So what you need to do is you need to get those stamps. Yeah, that looks, yeah. So now pick up the stamps off the door. Pick up the stamps. Yep. Yep.
Okay.
Lift them up. Lift them up.
Okay.
Yep. And now
Okay.
take all the mat, or take all those little, take those guys off and leave the scratch paper.
Okay.
Yes. Now ink up with just one color, just random color, doesn't matter. I used sage. So go ahead and ink that up.
Okay.
Yep.
Yep.
Perfect. Stamp them down.
Okay.
And clean off your stamp really well.
Clean off my stamp really well. All
Yeah,
three of
I
them.
mean, just make sure you clean it and it's good to go.
Okay.
Okay. Now you're going to take, let's start with the big package. Take the little outline for the big package. Place it around the package so that you see all those three sides, not the bow part, because the bow is going to stick up, right? But see how you can line it up so the bottom and the sides look perfectly framed out?
Yes.
Tape it into place. So take some of your Easy C tape and tape it down. Now, if you can also do this with tape runner, but sometimes, and I do quite often, but if you tape it down, there's not going to be any mucky muck, okay? So all you've done is framed out with your negative perfectly so that you know where this is going to go. And then you're going to repeat with each of the outline die cuts. And this is why, again, for like doing mass production, if you had 2 Misties for this, and that will make sense in a minute because I'm going to show you the way we're going to do the the bows. You could have everything set up in 2 different Misties, and I know, and I think some of you in the chat may have to let us know how many of you may have more than one. And no judgment. There's no judgment here. Listen.
Oh, more than one Misty?
Yeah. I don't have many shoes, but I have 3 Misties. So that's my, I am not known for fashion. Okay, so then once you have everything taped down, then you can pop your die cuts in and we can stamp, okay? So have you got those all in place, Heidi? Does that make sense now?
It does. Thanks for slowing me, taking my pace on that.
Yeah. So, and I would tape them down at the bottom too, Heidi. So put a little tape at the bottom of each one because you want them to be flat so they're going to hold your die cuts. Now, here's the thing. Sometimes if you are just using tape, you might want to put a little bit of tape runner in the center of each one, but it really doesn't matter because even if you pick these up with your stamp when it comes up, you just pop them right back in and you can stamp in the exact same place. So that's template stamping. And now everything's in place and we are ready to stamp. So we want the lighter color of each for these pieces. So ballerina, surf, and aspen. And I can actually do all these at once because these aren't so close that I'm gonna, muck them up. So I'm gonna put my ballerina here. I just like to have the cubes next to them so I don't get confused. And we're going to stamp them all at once. So the smallest package here is going to be in the aspen. Or the flatter package, sorry, not the small. The smallest is going to be in the surf, and the biggest one is ballerina. So let's do those all at once, because this is an instance where I think it's easy peasy. Okay, there's your surf, and just tap those inks on. You don't have to be super heavy-handed. Bring it down, and then smooth it down. Now I'm going to grab my little glider. And again, if your die cut comes up and pops out like that just did, it's no big deal. Just slide it right back in like that, and it'll stamp in the exact same position. Now, I feel like that looks really good though. Like, I don't think I'm gonna double stamp it. You know, if you wanna hit it twice, you can. Like, if you feel like you were a little uneven, maybe I was a little uneven here. I'll try that one again. It's really up to you. If you feel like you got a great impression the first time out, you're good. Although, I think I am gonna do aspen again. But I think my pink looks really good. Okay, so this is where, see how it came out like that? You just pick it off and you're good to go. And if you needed to stamp it again, you just pop it right back in, like a puzzle piece.
So Cathy, there's a question in the chat. You used the lighter colors, so she used ballerina, aspen, and surf.
Yep, the lighter of the three for this part, because the bows we're going to do all in the darker shades of each color. Okay. Now, this is where, and I'll just excuse me, I'll show you. Let's do this for fun. I don't need you guys to do it at home, but I just wanted to kind of show you the point of, if you know, this is, you're doing production style, right? And you've got your second Misty because you are a wild person who likes to live on the edge, like Cathy and Heidi. And you have two Misties. You could just leave those stamps on the door. Don't even think about them anymore, right? Because now you have your die cuts. And we're going to pick them up. Like that. There's one. Just pop that out. I'm leaving this in place. We're not going to be using it again today, but I just wanted to show you that you would set this aside and keep on, you know, make more die cuts, drop them in, do a bunch of stamping at once, and you know it's all going to work beautifully. And that's really the beauty of template stamping. But now I'm going to grab, and you can take that out of your Misty. You don't have to leave it in there. So you know what? I'm just going to take it out. I just wanted to illustrate that point, and the point has been illustrated. So I'm going to take these off now and put them back on my sheet. Okay. And yes, we're going next with the darker tones of all three shades. And we're going to be using the bows. Now, let's see here. So what I'm going to do on this one, we are going to use these again, okay? So you're not done. You're not throwing them away. That's also why I didn't want to do tape runner, because I really wanted these to be usable again. So here's how that's going to work. Gently, and I know this seems like a lot to do, but and we're going to do it differently for the last I have another idea to show you, but let's say we have these guys here, okay? And you really can use the same piece, but you have to take those off. Well, no, I'm going to do it this way. Yeah. So what we're going to do here is bring your little guys back in, but don't press them down yet. They're going to be a little sticky. And then take out these guys, your bows. So bow number 1 is the shortest one, and that goes, you know, roughly on that pack. Bow number 2 goes here. And again, this is just a rough placement. Just give yourself enough room for all your pieces. And we're going to pick these up. This one's a little tricky because you want to make sure you just drop it perfectly straight if you can. And then we're going to pick this up. So I guess if you were doing multiple production, you'd need 2 sets of die cuts of the negatives. Does that make sense? Because you'd be dropping them down. So now that these are pressed into place, take your sage again, ink them up, and press them down. Now here's the deal. This is only for people who really like to hedge their bets, because you can also just stamp these on with a block. But I know, you know, some people like me we like to have everything lined up. So now the part that you're going to focus on
I'm using a block.
right is the bow. See that
I'm
right
crazy.
there? No, Heidi, you are not. You're saving time, and that's a good example. But see how I'm placing this down so the bow is perfectly framed out? I'm going to do the same thing with this bow. Hold on, no, that's the, yep, this guy here. We're gonna frame that one out like that. Tape it down. I mean, these are like over the top for those people who
Well,
like
I think
to.
when you're mass producing, Kathy, this is a great hot
Yes,
tip.
that is exactly why we're doing it. And also, don't forget to clean off your stamps. I don't know if I did. I'm going to do that. Do as I say, not as I do, okay? And then all you do is you pop your guys back in, and now you know when you stamp that bow, it should be basically lined up exactly where you want it to be. And that's the only reason that I did it that way, is so that everything's pressed down, we're good to go. Then you grab your darker tones, and that is the fairy, the ocean, and the sage, okay? So we start with, I'm gonna put those where they need to be. This one's the outside, so that's sage. Oh, nope, and that's ocean, okay? Sometimes the reason, again, that I like to do them one at a time is because I get confused when I'm looking at them in mirror image, but I can handle this one. Sage and ocean, like that, and bring it down and press. And they're all coming up, which is fine, because as you will see, there's that guy. Nope, I just got ink on him. Nope, there's that guy, and there's that guy, and they're perfectly stamped onto the packages. And if you want to double duty it, you can stamp them again, just pop them right back in and repeat, okay? And that will give you a really nice contrast with your bows. And again, you'd have a couple misties going, and you'd be going to town. And I think town is a good place to be. You know, Reed like that, and Reed loves town. I know that about him.
I love that. That was great.
Okay? And again, stamp, they pick up, it's fine, because you have beautifully stamped, well, that didn't flip very well, like that. But yeah, Heidi, did you stamp with a block? Because it is not that hard to line up, okay? That is, we're good. If you stamp with a block, you're fine too, but that is, yeah. Oh, and you did a crisscross. I love that. Yeah, see, they're not hard. They're not hard to line up. So
I'm gonna do another.
there
crisscross.
is, there's our packages. Now we do have more stamping, but we're gonna do a quick pivot to glitter because I want you to have your glitter to have a little chance to dry. So remember that paintbrush you had before? Grab your paintbrush because we're gonna do the most cutest little fun thing with our glue and our glitter, and that is glitter the ribbons. And it really is like it's a little thing, but it's so cute. Okay, I'm gonna zoom in a little. I'm gonna grab my glitter box, my little rock candy, and we're going to glitter these. Okay, you go back there for now. So I need to locate my paintbrush that I had, and it is right here. Now, I don't know, it's not too wet. And I'm gonna just take this little piece of scrap paper that I had and my tweezers. This is pretty easy to do because on this one, you don't have to worry about touching anything around the edges. All we're gonna do is paint some glitter right down the ribbon, okay? Oh, that's the wrong one. I have one that is jammed because I didn't do what I was supposed to do. Okay, so just take your glue and just, give yourself, I don't know, a little bit. And now, for those of you who are not fine artists, I get it. Sometimes using a paintbrush can be challenging, but really just kind of drag it through your brush you know, get about that much on. And I'm going to use my tweezers. Well, you know what though? You don't have to use tweezers yet. Hold it down and paint. Just paint. Best of your ability, right down the center of what you just stamped. Okay? And you can also get right on the tip there, swoop around the bow. Even if you fill in a little on that little loop, it's going to be adorable. Okay? As you get your glue on there, then grab it with your tweezers. Open your glitter and glitter your bow.
I love that touch, Cathy. The bow
It's just,
glitter.
it's, when it dries, it's so pretty and shiny, and the glue will be translucent, and then you'll see that beautiful color of the ink underneath it. So yeah, I felt pretty smart doing this. You know, it's so fun to have a stamp set and to be able to play with it for, you know, a good chunk of time, because I designed it months ago. This is an old, you know, months ago. But then once you get it in your hands and you're able to play with it, it's just so fun to have different ideas. And I start to think outside of the box, like, hey, I'm not really known for my glittering, but that's not going to stop me from playing with it. I think me having rock candy in the last year kind of changed my approach to it. I don't know how long I've had it. Maybe it's been over a year. But again, it might look a little mucky right now. Don't worry about it. It's going to dry beautifully. And actually, I'm going to pop it in here so I don't lose it. Okay, and one more. Now, when I stamped a second time, I kind of obliterated a little bit of the polka dots on here. And if you look at the card that I made as my sample, you see those dots much better. So it really depends on how juicy your ink pad is. So just know that sometimes if you give it too much ink or pressure, you might kind of obliterate those, but they're there, and they will show up with lighter stampings. Okay,
Cathy,
so
did you
again,
know that our glue is made in the USA? This glue?
I did not.
This
What? I didn't. Tell
Positively
me more.
Perfect craft glue is made in the USA, and so is the ink that you used on your stamps, and so are the stamps that you used. Fun
I
fact.
love that for local economies and businesses. So that's awesome. Yep.
We try to do that
Okay.
whenever we can.
Yes, and that is, I know I appreciate that as a customer, and well, I hope that others do too. All right, once that glitter's done, pour it back. Oh, I did get some on my table. Oh, shoot. Okay, well, I just hate to waste it. You know what I mean?
Right.
All right. Okay, so now you'll just set these aside to do their thing, and we're going to do some stamping. But go ahead and clean your brush. If you still have your little water, what is it called? Where did I put mine? Yep, jug of water. You can go ahead and clean off your brush. Reed, how's everyone doing? Any questions that we need to address, or?
The one question is what card are we on? We are on card number 2.
Yes, we are on card number 2. And we are going to stamp and emboss next, okay? We're going to stamp and emboss. So there's a couple things that are going to happen next. So you can take this and put it in your trash.
Oh,
And-
the glitter is made in the USA too, Cathy.
Oh, it is? Oh, I love that.
Whenever
I love
possible,
that.
we try to do that.
Okay.
Makes restocking easier. It's a local
Yes.
economy. Yeah.
Absolutely. All right, remember the leftover piece you have? Now, here's the thing. If you don't have as much cardstock as I do, you'll be fine. You can just grab another piece, because we did give you enough cardstock easily for all the cards that we're making here. And you're going to have some left over too. So, you know, because we love you. We love you. Okay, we are going to stamp the greeting, peace and joy. So go ahead and grab that off of your thing. And then we're going to stamp the branches. Now, I love the idea of putting sprigs in anything. And I'm not even that great with sprigs. Like sometimes I'm like, what do I do with this sprig? But I love these two sprigs. And one of the things I wanted to point out about these sprigs is these are not identical. They are mirror images. So one has 3 on the outside, and they're just different, just because of where the sprigs are. So you can make your sprigs opposite, so they are like a mirror image. Now, I don't care which ones you do which here, but we're going to do 3 with silver embossing, and we're going to do 1 with aspen. So if you have enough room to make sure that you can die cut, that's what we're going to do. And we're going to pick it up like that. And I am going to stamp the inky one first, and just that's because the others are going to use embossing ink. Oh, and the other thing that's in your kit, Heidi, you get embossing powder. Mine is set to the side. Oh my gosh. I forgot that part, Heidi. You also have embossing powder in your kit, right? Don't they?
Yay, yes.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Okay. So you have your embossing powder, and the reason why mine wasn't in the kit is I took it out and it's sitting up here. Oh, and mine doesn't have a label on it, so there you go. That's the embossing powder. I was really knee deep in the hoopla in preparing for class, and some things I did not put away. So you have this too. You have a whole jar. It's gonna last you forever. Okay, not forever. I can't guarantee forever because that's a very long time. But now, what I want you to do, if you have anti-static powder, we're gonna powder up our paper. Because this way, you know, the embossing powder is not going to stick and it will slide off except for where we are putting our clear ink. And I am using my clear embossing and watermark ink from Simon Says Stamp. Now, Heidi, this is made in the USA too, I'm assuming?
Yes.
Watermark? Yeah. Okay, this is a great ink. If you need a clear ink, if you don't have one, or if you're looking for it, I love this. I just re-inked mine a few days ago because it was needing it. So I always have, where is that at? I have my little re-inker here somewhere. It just needed a little love. So you're going to ink that up and transfer that ink. Now I am going to hit this twice, just because I want a lot of ink covering my stuff. And not that one though. Just be mindful. Did I get more on there? I hope not. I'm trying to avoid this guy. You could take that off too, the little small one if you want. That way you're not gonna, yeah. Go like that. And here, I'll just press that down. So for when I use embossing powder, I don't have anything fancy. I just use a piece of copy paper. And again, I buy reams of this stuff so that I can use it for all sorts of crafty things. And then when I'm done with them, oftentimes, as long as there's no mucky muck on here, I can put them in recycling and I'm good to go. But now we're gonna add our powder. Heidi, I don't know if I told Reed to get this, maybe you already have them, but do you have any of the Simon clothespins in your studio?
I don't in my studio, but I love that you've brought these to market.
I love these.
And they're made here in Ohio.
They are from that Refined Crafts lady. Yeah, you can also just use tweezers for this. I always use this one that says protect the Manny, because you got to protect the Manny. And I am sorry. I was gonna do pink nails today, but I got sidetracked. And you know, what are you gonna do? I was gonna do pink. Okay, now I'm gonna move this out of the way for a second, and we're gonna add our silver powder. So you have a full jar that Cathy barely mentioned, and now, and this is a really nice powder too. It melts beautifully. It's a wonderful embossing powder. It's ultra fine, and all that means is that it holds the shape, right, of everything that you have stamped. So it doesn't puff up in a weird way. Every detail is held, and now we have that. That actually looks great. I don't see a lot of errant powder that is where it shouldn't be. So I will funnel this back in And again, this is how I do all my embossing. And I will say, I've gotten good at using paper to funnel, but there have been a few times where I'm not paying attention and the entire thing goes on my table, and then I curse the day that I ever started using folded pieces of paper, but by and large, it works pretty well. Okay, so now we're gonna melt our powder. So I'm gonna say grab your heat tool that you have, your embossing tool, and we're gonna let it warm up for like 15 seconds. Excuse me.
That's a hot tip to warm up your heat tool like that.
Yeah, you kind of, I mean, it's just the least amount of time that your heat is on your paper is good. We don't want to warp it too much. And so, now we melt. And I don't know where I learned that. It was just kind of someone said, yeah, try not to have your, try to have your heat tool warmed up and then it's coming in hot. And we like things coming in hot. Now we're going to die cut. Okay. You know how they say, she's coming in hot. That's what you want to think when you're die cutting. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
All right. So let's go ahead and cut this out with the coordinating dies. And again, I love having all the dies for these things because it's fun. All right, which one is this one? Is it that one? No, is it that one? Wait. Yeah, no. There we go. My spatial ability sometimes is off. There we go. And I'm going to tape these into place. If you have like a magnetic die plate like the Anna Griffin Impress, you probably don't have to do that because it will hold it. I do use an Anna Griffin a lot just because I die cut a ton, but sometimes I do like the intercut for class work because it's nice to be able to bring it in and just have it here to show the cuts. Plus it's a very good all-purpose die cutting machine. Okay, and then I'm going to grab the this little guy, and this little guy, and this little guy. Heidi, how are you doing? How's your stuff going?
Great.
Right. I'm doing fine. I was gonna text my husband and say, hey, can you bring me a LaCroix? But I forgot that I turned my phone off before we did this. So
do you want us to text him? Just tell us your phone. Yeah. Tell us his phone number, Kathy. We'll
Oh,
all text him.
Yeah, get that
all right,
out
everybody,
for
get
us.
ready to text Kathy's husband. Can you
know what's
imagine?
funny? Actually, and I don't know if he's here. I'm just going to very quickly say, hey, can you bring me a LaCroix?
I love it.
Okay, the texting has been done. That's
Love
the beautiful thing when you can text from a computer. All right, so I'm taping these into place. And here's the thing too, template stamping is great, but if you're one of those people that's like, Kathy, I'm good, I know how to die cut things, then yeah, you don't have to template everything. But I just think on those packages, it's nice for making sure that you are lined up where you need to be with the bows and the package for two-step stamping. So, but you can also just free range it and line it up and you're probably going to be fine. I over-adhese, which is my life's work. So we're going to cut these out. All right, I'm going to grab my machine. No, there we go. The thing is too, funny story about my husband, I don't know why he keeps his phone on Do Not Disturb, so he'll probably see this message at like 5 o'clock when I'm sitting next to him, and he'll go get me a LaCroix and then bring it in. That's just what he does. He likes to do the late replies. All right.
Treats it like an email. He's got 24 hours to respond.
He does.
You're
He doesn't
supposed to
feel
respond to
sudden.
emails in 24 hours?
That's proper
Can you
etiquette, yeah.
imagine? Okay. All right. So
By her
now we
expression,
have.
I don't think that's the case. So.
If you want to go run and get your LaCroix, we can just chat for a little bit,
Yeah.
Kathy.
You know what?
Do you wanna take a little break?
Yep, take a little, I'm gonna go grab a LaCroix, show Heidi and talk. I can listen because I can still hear you guys.
Awesome. I'm going to go to her
Oh,
front
that's so cool
facing.
that we do that.
And I have a wireless mic on.
Is
so.
that the thing? 24 hours to respond to email? Oh my gosh. Remember when we all had answering machines? And I do think it was probably 24-hour etiquette for an answering machine.
Do you guys still have answering machines? My mom
Or
and parents
voicemail?
they still have like a house phone with an answering machine. I don't think I've called it in over a decade, but
That's a good thing for the chat. Does anybody else still have an answering machine? I remember when my mom and
parents
dad
do.
had one because you could hear people leaving a message when you didn't get to the phone in time, and you could kind of just screen your call and decide whether or not you wanted to get it. But you can't do that with your cell phone. Oh, you can.
Yes,
you can see people leaving a message now on your phone.
Yeah,
Yes,
that's
you
a new
can.
update.
It's a great setting.
Oh, and I love that Cathy's even in the conversation
Oh,
too.
yeah,
Oh my
her
goodness, this
audio's
is a
still
real
on.
close-up of my face. I don't think I can handle it, Reed. We
You're
might
good.
need to go to top down
We're
pretty
going back
soon.
to Cathy's solo. Oh, you ready to party?
You can
Cathy?
put me, there I am. You know what's funny? Dan
Cheers.
did get my text. He just, I don't know what he was doing, but he met me at the stairs with the
Oh, nice.
fresh LaCroix.
Thanks, Dan. He's downstairs crafting, watching you live.
He's, you know what? If only. Okay. We're
All right.
Okay,
I'm gonna give it back
We'll
to
go.
back to you, Cathy.
Okay, thanks. Thanks, everyone. Now we have our cuts. Okay. Okay, Reed, now you can put that little measurement up because now we need to make a panel for our card, and we're going to cut this one to be 3.5 by 4 3/4. So it's a little more margin on this, and I love this as a panel size too. So take that last piece of cardstock that we cut, grab your paper trimmer, and we're going to make that cut. And then we're going to do another pattern, but this time we're going to stamp a pattern at an angle, which I love doing the angles. Okay, wait, what am I doing here? I'm cutting this, not scoring it. Okay, there we go. That was like, wait a minute, we're gonna score it? Yeah, we're gonna cut it. So this one is gonna be 3.5 inches wide, right there, by 4 3/4. You know, it's funny, I can feel it on the cardstock. There's glitter all over this. Oh, yeah, it's gonna happen. Okay, I think I got, or actually it was embossing powder. I think I got more embossing powder than I thought I had. But you know what's great? I don't know how many of you can get Swiffer cloths. I think they just go for like the Swiffer tool. But I buy boxes of these and then I cut a little hole and I hang it on my desk because my desk has this metal band around it that I can put magnets on. It's just great for picking up all of the extra powders and glitters, and it traps them. It's actually quite nice. Okay, time to stamp again with that little spatter stamp. So I'm going to zoom in here a little bit. Oh,
You're
sorry.
right, Lori Mars Cards. Simon Says Stamp does sell the Swiffer sheets. Thank you
Oh,
for
we
saying.
do. Okay.
We want to be a one-stop shop now, Cathy. If you're using it, we want to carry it.
Okay, you know what? I need to be linking those Swiffers because there are people who, especially like some people abroad, by the way, I'm just going to put all these things to the side, that do not have access to the Swiffer and they do not know the joy of the Swiffer. And let me tell you, once you Swiffer, you'll never go back to not Swiffering. Okay, we're going to say Aspen is our color here. But again, if you want to go with the lighter pink, if you want to go with surf, you float your own boat. You know what I'm saying? I am going to do the Aspen, and I'm going to do this at an angle, and I do want to go all the way off the edge. Okay, so you'll stamp right onto your surface, whatever. If you want to put cardstock underneath, that's fine too. I'm just going to stamp it directly. So we're going to go like this, ink it up, and start stamping. And again, all you have to do is alternate as you go. So I'm going to hang this off the edge, hold it, and lift. So that way I get that edging, and repeat all the way across. You know what would be really cute with this too, if you were feeling very motivated, and it would not be hard to do, is do this same stamping all the way across in clear embossing ink, and then add your silver powder to create a really shiny silver background. I think that would be really pretty, actually. And it would be neutral, you know, because you would just be having that beautiful shine. But see, you just kind of nestle them, kind of twist them, turn them around.
That's what happens when you have somebody who makes, like Cathy does, who makes cards and projects. She's a maker and she's a graphic designer. So when she's designing product like this splatter, she thinks to put it in that little crescent moon so you can overlap them like that. Like that's the advantage, I think, of her actually using the products that she designs. Don't you think, Cathy, or is it hard for you to say? 'Cause you've probably only known it that way.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's what's so fun about something like this. I teach a lot of classes online for different companies from time to time, but I rarely get to teach with my products. And that is why I love this opportunity, because we did this last summer too. Teaching with my products is the most fun because I made them and I have ideas about how I would like to use them. So you're absolutely right. So that's why I love this Christmas in July. It's been so fun to work on. Now I'm just going to do like half here so that, again, I'm just kind of filling in a few little spots. You know, you can do that. It really is just to create. In fact, you know what? I think that looks good. I don't think it needs anything else. But yeah, it's so fun to teach with products that you design because, you know, you're sitting there, you're working back in the back end of Adobe Illustrator, and there's a funny graphic designer joke, which is, I miss when AI meant Adobe Illustrator, because anyone who does this product design for a living, we all use Illustrator, which is an Adobe product, and the short code is AI, but it's a different kind of AI. All right. All right, I'm going to put my stamps back on here. So now we should have our panel. How does your panel look, Heidi? How roguey did you go? How rogue did you go? Oh, I like that. You went in a different diagonal. I love it. Okay, I'm putting my stamps back on because for me it's too easy for me to misplace. And now my crafty friends, we can proceed. So this is where we will grab the green cardstock in your kit, the sage. Let me locate that. It's getting messy in here. And we're going to cut this in half as well to make our note card. Now, if you wanted to use cotton candy here, go for it. If you want to use Audrey Blue for any of these cards, go for it. Because, excuse me, we threw in colors that would work with all of the ink colors, so feel free to mix that up if you like. So now we have a half sheet to make our note card. Okay. Now I can bring the scoring tool out, score right at 4 1/4. And again, I'm on team side fold. Reed, what about you? Are you team side fold or top fold? I think the people want to know.
Fold. I know.
Okay,
I'm more
okay,
of a
there you
left to
go.
right reader, just like I've always has been.
What about Team Edward or Team Jacob, Reed?
Oh, I'm Team Edward, all the way. It bothers me that Taylor
way.
Lautner married Taylor Lautner as well. Like, that's crazy.
That is still the weirdest thing. And for anyone who has no idea what Reed is talking about, Taylor Lautner, who played Jacob Black in the Twilight series, he married a woman named Taylor. Right?
No, so they're both named Taylor Lautner, and they have a podcast, Taylor and Taylor.
Yeah, that is so funny. Oh, I'm showing you another thing here. So, oftentimes when I'm making cards, because the Simon Says cardstock is 100-pound, it's very sturdy, right? It stands up. And so sometimes when you've got your card down, it won't stay flat. I always use my Easy See tape on the inside so that I can hold my panels flat because I need to see what I'm doing. And I feel like that is just something that I've done for a really long time, and it might seem a little wasteful, but it's just, yeah, it makes seeing that flat card so much easier. And now I'm just going to show you. You can use your foam squares from your kit because I think you'll have enough. But if you want to do foam tape, this is why I like this, because number one, like I said, it has a thinner loft. This is the Big Mama foam tape. It's a roll that's going to last you for a while. When you first get it, it's huge. It's huge.
And it's so sticky.
It's very sticky. Okay, so this is where, you know, if you worry about your placement, and I hope I nail the landing kind of thing, this is where I'll put some glue on here and show you. It just, yeah, the glue gives you that little bit of float time. So we put them here, and now we're going to pop that right on. You could flip it too. No, that's the same way. Never mind, we're good. So take the backs off, and yeah. And I had to work Twilight in because it's a funny thing. Here I am. I'm a woman of a certain age. Okay, I'm 60. I turned 60 this year, and I don't know what it is about vampires. I'm a big fan. Funny that we're working on Christmas here because we have some really fun Halloween stuff coming too at Simon Says Stamp in the future. But I love the Twilight movies. I don't know why. They just, and my daughter loves them. And she's an adult human, and we watch all the time together. Every year in the fall, we do a Twilight marathon. And it's the best movie watching ever. And I've had people who are YouTube subscribers, and they'll be like, Cathy, I'm so sorry. I watched that movie. It was terrible. I still like you, but I don't get it. I'm like, well, you know, it's not for everyone. Okay.
It ages just fine. What are they talking about?
I know. Reed, it's beautiful.
So Reed, have you
now-
seen Twilight?
Oh yeah, I've seen Twilight multiple times. It's one of Dana's movies too. Yeah, it's a good one.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
Well, I know Dana has good taste.
Oh,
She's- Yeah. She married you.
We'll start there.
See, there you go. Okay, now we have our beautiful matte frame, you know, not the matte, but the frame around it. This is why I love this panel size, because you see more of the cardstock, and that is a beautiful thing. Okay, now let's take some of our pieces here, and we're going to start adding our foam squares. So I'm actually going to put that there because it's easier for me to see. So let's see, we'll do, again, I'm just going to cut a few strip pieces so that I can fit some in, and we'll start adding them. And I think too, I'll probably do the buildup of cardstock. Well, we'll have to see. But that little cardstock buildup to get things to be at the same level, it's an easy trick. I don't know if we need to do it on this one, but I'm just going to pop it up like that. Peace and Joy is going to be here at the base. And then go ahead and add your foam squares to your package. Now your glue and glitter, your glue part should be dry. But just be careful if it's not, you know, just don't squeeze it. Don't squeeze it too much. And I'm really, you know what? Nope, yep, we're good. I'm covering this quite heavily with foam squares, even though we're going to have to tuck in some greenery. But see, we're doing that. And actually, let me see here. This guy is going to go on this side. And now I'm going to put that up a little, okay? So you want to have your foam square over here. And I feel like, yeah, let's grab more of that scrap cardstock. We might as well do it because it's super easy to do. You know, just cut yourself a little piece, and I can make it even thinner. And I'm just going to glue that little piece on to the outside. Just a little hack. Just a little dimensional hack. Pick it up, pop it on, let that glue. I think I'll just do one on this one. And again, here, we're going to go like that. And I'll do the same on the other side. Just, you know, just to lift that up a little. A little glue and down. Heidi, how are you doing? Where you at?
I don't think you want to
girl?
know yet.
Okay.
Okay, that's fine. Reed, do you have any questions from the chat?
No, everyone's doing a really good job. What I am seeing from the chat is the consensus that everyone is a Twilight fan, but it stops with Twilight. It seems like a lot of people, that's their vampire obsession. A couple are saying Buffy and Angel, but a lot of them like Twilight, and it stops with Twilight. That's crazy.
You know, it's funny because I don't want people to look at me differently, but I've never watched Buffy. I just have never watched it, and I think because I like hot vampires, you know, and the vampires in Buffy are not cute. They're just not cute. And I tried. I think I've seen a few, but like, if you're not a hot vampire, listen, if you're not Kiefer Sutherland, like, you know what I'm saying? I don't know. But
I
then
feel like
he was
I'm
also
in another language. I don't know any of these people.
okay. But do you remember, Heidi? Did you ever see The Lost Boys? Remember The Lost Boys? Kiefer Sutherland was a vampire, and oh gosh, who was in it? The Corey brothers, those Corey kids. It was anyway. He was hot until he became a vampire. Then he was also kind of gross. So the Twilight is a very wholesome vampire story. So I get it, you know. Yeah. I don't know. We should and Christmas. Remember Christmas? Okay, I'm gonna.
Let's get back on track. I love it.
I love how
gonna
graphically, even Cathy's cards are so spatially organized. I think when you guys see the difference between Cathy has made and what I have made, it's clear how, I don't know, you probably think linear and you're a graphic designer, and I'm just kind of, my nickname is Hurricane Heidi.
Oh my gosh.
But it's going to be interesting to see hers and mine side by side.
Well, the thing is that the thing about crafting, if I may tell a story that many people probably, if you've followed me for any amount of time, I got into crafting. I got into scrapbooking because, you know, as a graphic designer, I was very linear. Because I didn't go to design school, right? I went to school to become a journalist. And I ended up having to do graphic design as part of my job. And so I had to teach myself to learn everything I could about graphic design. And in that course, I fell in love with design. And then I discovered crafting. But rather than be like some wild crafter, I just took the exact same aesthetic that I used for designing corporate reports into graphic design, because I was very much in the publication realm. And so I did very boring things, but in crafting, I still had a design arrangement, but I felt like it was so much more fun, the materials that I was working with. And then that just transferred naturally into card making. Because yeah, I like this idea of this kind of linear, you know, setup, but at the same time,
It looks awesome.
You're intersecting it with like that playful angle. So I'm always looking for ways that, you know, how can we have, you know, a little bit of fun while still maintaining that collective whatever, you know, it's the gestalt of the whole thing. You know, Heidi, we have these in the store now because these are my A2 rule of thirds. We have one for A7 cards and we have one coming out for A6, because one of the things I love to do on my channel is teach people more about design, because, you know, the more you know about a few things here and there, it just gives you more confidence when you're sitting down to create. That's all. Doesn't make, you know, things better or worse. It just gives you that little bit of confidence, because I look at little design tips just like I look at, you know, oh, here's how you do a template, or hey, put a little bit of glue on your foam square. You know, it's all tied into adding skills to your crafty basket. Okay, so we're just placing those down like that. You know, just a little, both of them in front, I think is cute. You can arrange those any way you like. And then we're going to add in these guys. Now, you might want to test it first to make sure you have room. Oh yeah, that's gonna work. You might have to do a little cuts here depending on where you put your foam squares. I love this card design, actually. This is my favorite, I think, of the three that we're gonna make today, just because, I don't know, there's a lot of cuteness going on, right? And you could do all kinds of things with these greens. Now, I think oh, no, well, I'm going to cut a little. You can kind of judge it based on, you know, where you want that to stick out, because this is, yeah, I like that. But we're going to glue these right down. But yeah, you could add far more greens. I mean, again, I like this set because the stamps, because I think there's a lot of possibilities even beyond what we are going to make today in class. So I hope this isn't the end. You know, I hope this encourages you all to keep exploring with the stamps. You know, when you got them, use them. Use them, you got them. All right, and then we're going to add this right here.
You made a reference that it builds confidence to learn and to see what you're doing, but I also think it inspires, you know, it sparks that idea and interest to do it for ourselves.
Yeah, absolutely.
Maybe you call that confidence? I don't know, but
yeah, I mean,
inspires
confidence. Yes, inspiration and confidence, and knowing, you know, when you sit down with your new set of stamps, it's like, I'm going to do this. I feel confident because I know I can set up a design that works really well. Now, speaking of what works really well, grab your sequins, because we're gonna sprinkle them on. Now, in terms of sequin placement, you know, I like to do my odd number of 5. And here's the thing: there are generalities in design, right? There are principles in design, but you don't have to stick to them. I mean, that's just it. Like, I like 5 and 3 and 7 because odd numbers in design are said to be pleasing, and the aesthetic of them is this nice, unpredictable rhythm, right? It's not perfectly set up. It's uneven. Now, what I'm going to do here is take the 3 sequins that are small, medium, large at the top, and then I'm going to do a medium and small at the bottom. And honestly, this is probably my go-to sequin placement ever. I do this all the time to kind of frame out the design. This is my favorite style of sequin. I love confetti. I don't like the holes. I don't like the holes in regular sequins because you get glue on your tip, and oh my gosh, it just becomes a nightmare. So confetti, you know, it eliminates the nightmare. Also, I'm going to wipe that tip again before I do the glue. And we're going to go like that. All right. And boop, because I have my boop dish. You know, I don't know. I started doing that when I started making cards, boop, because it was fun. And I remember there was a lady a long time ago on my channel, and she was so mad that I said boop. She's like, listen, I'm not in kindergarten. I'm like, I know. Like, neither am I. But let's have some fun in life, you know? Go ahead, Heidi. Say it. It's fun. Boop. See? There you go.
We're
Better
just
than
some
saying
whimsy. Yeah.
yeah, it's whimsy.
That is the card. Now, look at the glitter on our packages. Heidi, how does your glitter look? Let's see your glitter on your package.
I think the glitter looks good. I think mine is a good, like, what not to do, like what not to wear. And when you show it side by side, see, I did an even number of sequins, or confetti as we call it. And I think that the 3 and 2 to be 5 is much better. And see, my card is a little chaotic, whereas Cathy's is very graphic design linear. And I much prefer Cathy's. I had fun making mine. But if I were to make a second one, it would look a lot more like Cathy's. But it was fun to just explore.
Okay, listen, you need to give yourself more credit because you branched out, you did some different things. People are going to get ideas from this, and you filled in that open space with sequins. So, you know, the whole idea of playing with card design is how do you fill in the space so that it feels full and even and equal, and I think that's adorable, and I am proud of you, and now we are going to move on.
Thank you, Cathy. I had a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun. This is what this is about. Be creative, have fun, exercise your creative muscles.
It absolutely is. Okay, so I'm going to get the instructions for our third card. Now, let me grab that. See, so now you've got 2. And again, I love the way the glitter looks. So it's kind of like, you know, even just using glitter in a really simple way yeah, I like doing that in a simple way because then, you know, you're not gonna freak out. You don't have to freak out about glitter. I thought maybe in my life I would freak out about glitter, but no more, no more. And now we move on to the next card. So we're gonna stamp again, and what that means is we need more white cardstock. So grab another piece of white cardstock from your stash. And the beautiful thing is you're gonna have one sheet left over. And actually we're doing pretty good on time. We're at the 2-hour 15 mark. Do you know, can I tell you a funny story about my old car? I had a Subaru Forester, and by the way, we're just going to cut this in half at 5.5, okay? Because you need a white note card for this, and then I'll tell you my story about the Subaru Forester because it's the over 2 hour mark. There was this feature on the car that if you were on a road trip, when you hit the 2 hour mark, on the screen in the car, it would pop up and it would say 2 hours journey time. And I'm like, does that mean that we're supposed to start going like any way you want? That's the way you do every single time. And that feature is not on my new Subaru that I've had for 6 years, but I loved journey time. That was my favorite thing. I would just sing different Journey songs every time it came on.
I liked Journey too. I think that the Sopranos, didn't the Sopranos bring back some Journey music for my kids? My teenage kids listen to the kind of stuff that you and I used to listen to, or still listen to, Cathy.
They did, and so they brought back that song, what was it, Don't Stop Believin', and then Glee came in, and they brought Journey to a whole other generation, and yeah. Okay, we're gonna stamp, and for this one, I'm gonna say, let's just stamp without templates. I believe in all of you, and we can do this just fine. Okay, but here's the thing, like if you wanted to say, I want these to be perfectly stamped and cut out, now you know how to do those templates, so you can do that because we are going to make some ornaments. And I love these ornaments. I think there are a lot of different ways you can play with them. Even just like a single ornament on a card would be cute. They could be very cute on tags. There's just, yeah. Ornaments are a classic, and we have some really classic shapes. So let's take each piece out, and again, just make sure you leave enough room for die cutting. It's weird, I haven't talked this much in a really long time. I'm like, Cathy, do you talk this much in real life? No, I really don't. And Reed, what do you know? Do you have any questions for me?
Well, it's funny you say that, Cathy, because I don't get to listen this much in real life either. This is wonderful. Thank you. It's a treat. Somebody was asking about the colors of cardstock. I guess you asked a question. We have cotton candy. Which blue was this, Cathy, that you have in the kit? Do you remember? Maybe Reed remembers which blue. It's the Audrey blue. Okay.
Yep, it's the Audrey blue.
And then the green was the sage green from
Sage. Yep.
What's in the kit.
And I
those
feel
were some
like
of the questions that came through.
Sage is a newer color for the store, isn't it? Like,
yep.
Yeah, it's a lovely, lovely color. Okay, so we're gonna stamp with, again, I really like this pink. I think it is, Ballerina is such a nice soft pink. So we're gonna do this, but again, feel free to mix it up. We are going to do Surf, and we are going to do, let's do Sage on this one. I can't remember if I did Sage or Aspen, so I'm gonna do Sage because I don't feel like we've given it enough love today. So the big one is Ballerina, and again, this is where I kind of like to set my cubes together so that I don't accidentally grab the wrong cube. And we can do all three of these at once. So tap on the Ballerina. These
Cathy,
would be
are you
cute.
stamping on the card base or a panel?
This is a panel. This is a panel that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. And we've set aside the other half sheet, which we will turn into our card base, because these are going to pop up on the card base, and we're also going to draw some lines. I'm just using my fingers here for our strings. All right, that looks pretty good, actually. I think I will do one more of my pink, and you just kind of judge it by how it looks, right? If you feel like you got a great impression right out of the gate, I'm not going to restamp the blue because I think that looks great. And again, remember, if your stamps stamp better and better with every use, they just get conditioned. Photopolymer is a really lovely material to work with for stampers, and that makes me very happy to see all of that. Okay, so that is the ornament parts. Now, we also have some other parts that we can stamp. I'm going to close these up so I don't confuse them, because we also have the toppers that we're going to emboss in silver, and we're going to use the small one. So there's 2 different sizes of topper in the stamp set. They don't have holes in them, but you can certainly poke holes in them with like a pokey tool if you wanted to have actual string from the kit go through here. But what we're going to do is we're going to stamp and emboss these elements here. So I feel like I'm going to try to get more on this paper. So I'll take these off like this and pop these back. And I'm going to grab the Merry Christmas. So just a really good classic Merry Christmas. And then we've got 2 little guys here, the little twinkles. Might as well get these on. Here's the thing, even though the dye inks, they dry pretty quickly, right? But again, I'm just trying to get more out of my cardstock. If embossing powder sticks there, we'll just dust it away with a dry brush. But I'm going to try to squeeze on a few more things in here. And here I'll show you on the stamp set which one is the smaller of the 2. So there's this guy's a little bigger and that guy's a little smaller. We'll just use the smaller one. I did the bigger one. Oh, my stamp keeps flying. So you could use it with that big round ornament that I'm not actually using on my cards today. I think that's the only stamp that I did not use on a sample. But we're going to have to do this a couple of times, 3 in total, to get all of them in. But this is where you can stamp all your pieces at once on the same piece. Okay, so embossing ink. Let's grab our anti-static powder, grab your embossing powder, and I'm going to get my little paper catch again so that we can get all this stamped out. Again, just putting this on to remove static and oil. And actually, a little hot tip, you can even go over, if you're doing embossing like in a combo where you've also got dye ink stamped, you can go over those as well just to protect them so that the powder will slide off. But like I said, we can dust that off as needed. And now I just need to locate, it starts to look a little crazy in here. Clear embossing ink, and we're going to ink these stamps up and bring that down, and I will use my little, where's my slider tool? Oh, there it is. I'm going to just transfer. And I'll stamp this twice as well, just because I really want a nice coating on that Merry Christmas. Should be good. And glide on over. How's your panel coming, Heidi?
Good. I just got
Good.
my clear ink on it. Looking for something for the powder.
Love it. Okay. What do you pour your powder into? Your embossing.
Really, to be
What do you-
transparent, whatever I have
Yeah.
handy. Sometimes I have, like I have a, oh shoot, I just messed up. I have a piece of typewriter paper with me right now. But my favorite thing is this thing that we don't sell. It's back from my Stampin' Up! Days. You know, it was a little tray that had a hole in the bottom of it. I don't know if that's even still available. I love those, also those containers that Jennifer McGuire uses, where you just use a spoon and sprinkle right over. What are those containers called?
They're like
I sell them at Simon Says Stamp, so I should
Yeah.
know. But
yeah.
I can't remember the name of it. They're just clear embossing containers.
Yes, I did that for a little while, I think, and then I just got lazy. Well, and I also think it's because, by the way, I'm going to place this down here and stamp this again, clean it off, and stamp it again. I think it's because I switch like so many, I have several embossing powders, and I felt like I have my embossing powders on this little metal tray that is attached to my light stand here in my studio. It's the weirdest tray. It's not meant for storage. It's actually meant for microphones or something, but that's where I keep all my powders, and I just would not have the room, I guess, to put powders in in those like tubs. So
yeah.
I think that's the only reason. Now I am going to wipe this off to make sure it's perfectly dry, and I'll go right about there. So we do have to cut that out 3 times for our ornaments, but I think that should be fine. Okay, we're almost ready for powder. I think that'll be.
Sorry, I just dropped
Whoops.
something. Sorry for the noise.
Reed is throwing things. He's getting out of hand in there. Okay.
I'm wilding out.
That is crazy. Oh, Reed. Okay. Now I know the next time I come to Ohio what we're doing after meetings. We're going to have a staff twilight viewing. Okay. It's going to be great. People are going to love it. All right. I am going to add my powder now to this. And then we have all our panel pieces for card 3.
Systema. If anybody's reading the chat, thank you, JKA German.
Thank you.
Yes, those Systema containers. That's what we
Systema,
call
that's
them.
right.
Like a lock and lock. My mom loves lock and lock. Oh my goodness, I love them too.
Yeah, I have them in my closet. I'm sure of it. You know what I mean? Like I have the things. I just took my powders out and never put them back in. And I think it was just, again, it's partially space. Now I have more space because I actually have a whole room now that is my craft room / studio. But before, I was in my dining room for many, many years, and I just didn't have much storage space. But I feel like even in here, space is good, it's better, but it's still limited. Okay, I am going to clean this up a little. Let's see.
Cathy, how long have you been in your craft studio? I think it makes a big difference for us, especially as our kids grow up and move out of their bedrooms, which is also sad, but they visit.
They
what-
visit.
How long have you been in your craft studio? It feels like forever, but I do remember now that you say that used to be on your dining room table.
Yeah, it was either the fall of 2022 or 2023, and I can't remember. I don't know why those years, just the 20s, the 2000s, the whole thing. It's not like the 80s where you could easily recall, do you know what I mean? So I feel like it might have been the fall of 2023, and this used to be where I'm now, my office, where I did all my design work, but once I turned it into a craft room, my life changed. It's the happiest room, and it has its own air conditioning. So I'm gonna melt the powder. That's probably the best part. So we're gonna warm it up a little.
Do you want to switch to my camera? I think the melting powder is like just fun.
Alrighty. The magic of the melting.
That's
So,
what got
yeah,
me
once I-
into stamping.
Oh, go ahead. What's that?
That's what sucked me into stamping or got me hooked, was
The
using embossing powder for the first time.
Do you know what kept me from stamping and embossing was embossing. Many, many years ago, I bought some embossing powder and some embossing ink, and I decided to give it a try. I can't remember. It was like there was a thing people were doing in crafting. It was called like infinity squares, or I can't for the life of me remember what the term was, but it involved embossing. And I set everything up, and I got my powder, and I was all ready to roll, and I hit it with the heat tool, and everything in my craft / dining room went flying, and powder was everywhere. It was just an absolute mess, and I remember thinking to myself, yeah, pass. So that's what I thought embossing was. I didn't understand it.
Aw, that's so
And-
unfortunate, Kathy.
I know. It took me years. And I'll tell you, too, because that was back in the day where Jennifer McGuire and I were friends. Like, we met in scrapbooking, and she would always be like, oh, you should try card making. And all I could think was, in my mind, that embarrassing embossing incident, the embossing incident of 2009. I don't even know what year it was. Let's just say it took me a while to get on board. But now, oh, I don't know.
You're
I
on
don't know
the
what
train. You're
I'm on the
driving the
train.
train. Choo choo.
I'm driving the train. Okay, so now we're just going to tape everything down with the coordinating dies. We're going to cut them out. And these ones are pretty easy to line up. But again, it's like if you want to do template stamping, you know what to do. You got it. And it can just be helpful for that mass production. But, oh,
I just realized
What?
that we're wrapping up the third card and it makes me sad.
I know, but we do. Now listen, Heidi, we have at least a tag or two to try, okay? Because I'm going to show them why the stencils are included, because the stencils all work with all these shapes as I showed you in the beginning. So these dies that we're cutting the ornaments out with, you can use these dies to cut out your shapes, and then you stencil and blend onto the same ornament shape. So it's going to give you double usage for the die shape itself. And I really wanted to include that because I love being able to stencil shapes, and we'll show you that with some of the bonus cards because it's a really fun way to use this more. All right. Well, yeah, gosh, this is, a long time ago when I first started doing online cards and stuff, and when I first started teaching, I would get kind of nervous, because, you want everything to go well and whatnot. But this is the most relaxed I think I've ever been, because I'm like, this is just fun. There's no stress in card making. At least there shouldn't be. And that goes for all the makers who, make things and inspire people and all the good stuff. Yeah, it's just so fun. I was telling Heidi the other day, for those of you who don't know, there was a time when Heidi sent me some inks. I don't remember why. It was kind of, I don't know. You sent me some inks and I knew kind of who you were, and I thought, but I don't really make cards. And then I caught the card making bug, and then I emailed Heidi and said, hey, do you remember me? Do you remember when you sent me some inks? Would you like to work with me? And that's how it started. I'm having a hard time lining this up, and that is how the magic began. And now,
Which is such a dream, because when I first was talking to you, you weren't much of a card maker yet. And so it's one of those things like, oh, well, it's okay. But then when you circled back around, I'm like, yay, she's now a card maker, because I'm a scrapbooker too, but the scrapbooks are never done. But there's something about making a card from start to finish in one sitting that's a lot more satisfying than I still love to scrapbook and to make mixed media things. Those are just ongoing on my table. But a card, I can put a message in it and mail it out and spread the joy.
Yeah. I mean, I think for me too, it was like having something, and by the way, I'm cutting these out, having something, this little canvas, right? And that's what I think of when I think of a card. It's like this little canvas, and it's so easy to actually fill it up and complete it. And yeah, I mean, I have tons of scrapbooks too, Heidi. I'm going to slide this over. In fact, we are repainting, or not repainting, we're refinishing some things in our family room, and that's where I have these cabinets that are hidden, and I keep my scrapbooks in there. There's a ton of them. I mean, I have a lot of scrapbooks. And, but with card making, it doesn't take up as much room. Do you know what I mean? Like, maybe the supplies do, but the card making stuff itself, I feel like there's a certain amount of freedom that I have found in making cards. And I don't know, I feel really, really lucky that I fell into it and that I finally saw the light. It's kind of like with scrapbooking, people who make cards, you guys all know, exactly what it is, the joy, the fun, even if you don't send out every card you make, which most of us probably don't, you know, it's just that joy of creating with your hands. And I don't know, there's nothing like it. And especially for someone like me who worked as a graphic designer and spent more time on a computer than I can count, being able to do things like this with my hands is, I don't know, it was like the missing piece. It was like a missing component for me. And wow, I guess that's why I love it so much. Tactile.
I love that you love it. Many people watching I probably already know, but in case you don't, Cathy has a line of products under the CZ Design label, and those are all exclusively available at Simon Says Stamp. The stamps, the dies, the stencils, and then we have some fun things like her boop dish and the clip that she was using to emboss with earlier, and the magnet thing that she helped us bring to market. It was her idea, and it's under CZ Design brand. A lot of these products are. So if you're wondering, CZ, Cathy Zielske. I mean,
that's me. That's me. It's great. Zielske is my married name, but and the reason I changed my name was I thought, oh, there's fewer letters than my maiden name, which was MacDonald, M-A-C, and I figured nobody ever managed to spell MacDonald right. They always spelled it like, you know, like the restaurant. And so I thought, I'm going to pick his name because no one will spell that right, and then I will be able to screen out all the telemarketers. That's why I did it. So, and I never knew it would rhyme well for CZ Design. So there you go. You know, there's a bonus. Okay. All right. So now we have all of our things cut, and we are ready to make a card. Now, I'm going to grab my half sheet of white cardstock.
I think this is my favorite card, Cathy.
I do love this one too, Heidi. I mean, again, I love these cards. I love the color palette. When I remade everything on Monday because I just wanted to make sure Monday of this week that I knew exactly, you know, the flow and how we were going to put everything together. And I was like, I really like these. Oh, also, I am a tape hand person. Oftentimes, once I get into making cards, I don't notice that I've put tape on myself. And then by the end, I am covered with tape. So I'm aware that it's there. I might need it. It's kind of like gum. You know, the people that put the gum behind their ears, like in those movies? That's me with tape. Okay, we're going to score it again, right at that 4 1/4 mark.
Sharon, her magnet is at Simon Says Stamp. The magnet wand. SimonSaysStamp.com.
Okay, now.
Sorry, Cathy.
No, that's good. I'm going to, again, see how Nina is just like, it's a beast of paper, which is a good thing, but I like to tape it flat because we are going to draw on here. Now, here's the thing. I'm going to use a little fine point pen. I guess it's 005. Any fine liner that you have. I have a bunch of them, but I also have, some of you may have the Micron brand, which Simon carries, but I think we are out of stock. You just need a little black pen, or if you're fancy and you have a silver glitter pen, not glitter, silver metallic pen. You know how some people have like fine tip silver pens? You could use that too. I just didn't have anything like that because I think that would look really cute for drawing our strings. Now, you might be wondering why not just use the twine from the kit. I'll show you what we did with that in a bonus card because you could definitely do that, but what I wanted to do with this was not do that. I wanted to just draw them on. But first, let's glue the toppers on, okay? And I'm going to just take a little bit of my liquid glue, and you know, these corners do look different, so I actually am going to flip it because I like that little open part here, and you'll see if you've stamped it, but it can go, yeah, you know what, I'm going to flip it actually. Either way works. You pick the side that you think looks the best, and we will pop that on. Where is my tool? I like that guy. And then just put it on top of your ornament like that. There's one. This one, either side works because they're both, you know, basically the same. Picking that up, pop it on. And again, if you really wanted to have a hole in here, you could just poke through it on like a like a mouse pad, right? You could poke and make a little hole. I didn't do this because when you're designing stamps and dies, this is a very small space to cut out, and it would not have worked. We have some limitations when we're designing products, and that is a very small area to punch out on a die that I didn't want to risk. So, oh, I'm going to put this so that the twinkle is lined up like that. Okay, and then press that. Now, while we are here, let's go ahead and add our foam squares to the back. So see, this is nice. You have a lot of squares for this, and you know, foam squares are a good thing. So you should have enough and then some, but I'm gonna squeeze that one there, put one up here, and then I'll take some of my triangle pieces that I cut, kind of angle that in. I do like using my craft pick though for foam squares too, just because I like to get in, get close, you know, get where I think I might need a little extra support. And it's like my surgical tool. There we go. Okay. Yeah, you know what? Because we can, let's just do it. All right, now we have plenty of support here. And we're going to do the same on these. I feel like the glue's probably dry, so just be mindful of that you just put it down. This glue does dry pretty quickly. And I'm going to say, one guy in the center here, because we're floating these ornaments. Heidi, where are you at? What's on your table, girl?
Well, Reed can show you, but I don't want to confuse your students.
No, you are not confusing the students. Oh, Heidi.
I'm just applying the things that Cathy is teaching us in a different organizational style.
And that is what we want. We are not carbon copies. We're human, and we're doing a beautiful job on all things. Okay, but now don't glue anything down before we draw lines, because you're going to be able to put these wherever you want. And I actually like the horizontal, because none of these are horizontal, are they? Well, I think one of my samples is. Okay. Now let's go here, and we're going to just cut these down a little. Reed, I think they must be doing pretty good, right? No major questions?
I'm not seeing
Some people
any...
are talking about I'm sorry, I'm interrupting,
you're
Reed.
fine.
I'm just deep in this chat.
Yeah.
So Cindy's talking about you haven't taken a class with Cathy before. I am curious to know how many people that have access to their live chat right now and can type if their fingers aren't filled with glue and glitter or something. I would love to know, and I think Cathy would too. Have you ever taken one of Cathy's live classes or any online class with Cathy before? And then my second question would be, have you ever taken one of our Simon Says Stamp free classes that we started doing about 1.5 years ago, almost 2 years ago? So I guess that's the question is, have you taken a class with Cathy before? That's question one. And question two is, have you taken a Simon Says Stamp free class before? So I see Pam's no, so that must mean you haven't done either. Lots of them. Oh, good. Look at all these. Yeah, Cathy, we have a lot of people that have taken your classes before. Some people watch you weekly on YouTube under CZ Design. She has her own YouTube channel. Wow, the chat is going crazy, Cathy.
Ooh,
People have taken your online card classes before with Jennifer McGuire and Christina Warner online card classes. Wow, yes, so many people taking your classes.
Yes, I love it when Christina and Jennifer invite me. I pretty much say yes without seeing the products usually because I know they're going to be great. And and I've done things for other like Altenew. I've done some things with them, and Scrapbook and Cards Today. I've done things for Concord and Ninth. And it's just fun to do, you know. But yeah, I'm live on YouTube every Wednesday at noon, doing whatever needs to be done that day. And that has really helped me to feel confident being able to do classes with Simon and having these long classes because I'm kind of used to going live. But Heidi, you should mention though, there's another free class coming.
Yeah, there's
Simon
another
Says
Christmas
Stamp.
in July. So Cathy did Christmas in July with us last year as well. So this is her second Christmas in July with us. we are doing another free Christmas in July class on the last day of July, July 31st with Gina from Gina K Design. So that's 2 Fridays from now. So there'll be even more Christmas fun or holiday fun, seasonal fun, seasonal greetings.
And Gina is, you know, I will say this, I've learned so much from her as an instructor, and I feel like when I started card making, by the way, we're going to just place your arrangement where you think you want your little guys to go, because this is how we're going to figure out the lines that we are drawing, okay? Having a T-square is very nice for this if you don't. And actually, Heidi, this is another thing that I think we talked about. And then we added this to the store, and then other companies have these too. But I feel like we did this, no, I want to say first. We brought T-squares because we said, let's have T-squares for card makers. And then we did. We have a larger one too.
We were the first, yay!
I think we were, yeah.
For what it's worth. But
yeah,
all these measurements are catered towards card makers.
And this is a tool that comes from the design world and the photography world, right? Having a T-square is really important as a graphic designer, at least in the olden days of graphic designer. You would have these ginormous T-squares, these big wooden T-squares. And yeah, I was using one from, you know, my design days, and then I thought, wouldn't it be nice if we had a card-sized one? But that's neither here nor there. I've learned a lot from Gina about how I wanted to teach on YouTube and in classes, because I think making it doable, that has always been the goal. And so, yeah, I hope this has been that for you today, people of the world. Now, what we're going to do is we're going to look at this guy right here. And again, I'm glad I did that in the sage ink. I like that darker ink. I think it's really pretty. But we're going to do it one at a time, okay? And that is this. You're going to figure out your placement. You're going to get your pen ready. And then you're going to slide this out, okay? Because I'm going to take, and I guess the best way to do this is like, do I have, yeah, this guy here. So I'm going to just put my little magnet here for now. That's just going to tell me where to stop the line that I'm drawing. And I'm going to take my ruler, and you can do this with just a regular ruler too. But the T ruler, you're going to line it right up on the piece and drop it down and hold it. So if you have a regular ruler, you can do that too. And then all I'm going to do is start at that spot that I know it's going to stop and draw up like that. Easy peasy, one straight line. And I know that's going to work. And the thing is, even though I'm using a black pen, it does not look like, it doesn't look harsh with this. And actually that's got to come up further. It looks pretty good. You know, it's like, and even Heidi, when we were talking earlier before we started class, she didn't think it looked black at all. And it works for something like this so well. But again, I would be curious for people who are taking the class today, if anyone had a silver pen, because I don't, and I would love to try this with a silver metallic pen. Okay, before you do your next placement, just put your reading down to make sure you're going to have enough room. And then I'm going to move my magnet again. And again, you can use a pencil, anything just to give you a visual reminder of where you want to stop that line, and place it right over the center of the ornament topper. Get it straight. And then I'm going to do the same thing. Just draw it up. And here's the thing, I'm not like super handy with a pen. In fact, I feel like I'm channeling a little bit of my inner Christina Werner, who I really admire as a card maker, because she does a lot with, you know, pens and hand drawing. She's an amazing artist. But I like doing stuff like this with the pen because it just gives you a little bit of flexibility, and it's not hard. Okay, so we're going to put that there, and I think the third one will be here, like that. And then, how do I want to do this? I'm going to get you out of the way and you out of the way. Don't hesitate to just get those out of the way. And again, it doesn't have to be perfect. We're just getting the line here, and the ruler helps. And I do press it down really hard when I'm doing this, just so nothing slides, and lift. And now all we have to do is place our elements. So get them back into place where you want them to be. And I do like the stagger of this too, you know, it just feels feels very much like a little, you know, they're hanging in a window. And we can start placing them down. Now you can use your glue again here if you want to be, you know, on task and have that wiggle room. We'll do that like that. Something's happening. I hear some embossing. I think Reed's getting involved.
That's me. Yep, that's what we're going with.
What did she say? Reed's what?
Reed's getting involved. It must have been Reed. What's
He
the thing?
muted me, yeah.
Reed's like, I can't. I gotta get in on this. I've been missing out. All right. Now, too, here's some other tips that I didn't mention. For example, let's say you wanted to be fancier on your card. You could take a product like Positively Perfect Silver Spatter Medium. This stuff is gorgeous, and you could spatter on your piece before you even, you know, place your ornaments down. I think that could be really pretty. It's a very festive product. I didn't want to get into, you know, too much wildness. I mean, when we were putting the kit together, you know, we had to put some limits on areas, right? We want to put everything in, but we packed it as full as we could. And but yeah, there's always different ways, you know, that you can work in other techniques that you love, because I love a good spatter, and this is a wonderful product. It probably would have looked cute in black too. I'm a big fan of the black spatter, though it is very messy. I spilled some a couple weeks ago, and boy, was that was interesting. I didn't think I was going to get it out of areas that it went into, but it's a great spattery product. Okay. All right. But yes, Heidi, I'm excited to show the tags and the bonus things, which I don't think we're going to make them, but you will see them and we will explain them, and I think they will be fantastic. All right. So now you just place your Merry Christmas, you know, so that's close, maybe about less than 1/4 of an inch away. I do like the minimalness of this particular card. I think it's really simple. And again, I always want to do things that I think you can take the base design and do, and then you run with it. So that's where, Heidi, you're playing around and doing rogue things. It reminds people, it's like, yeah, you can have a base design, and then what would you want to do with it? You know what I mean?
Yeah, and then when we're mass producing, let's say 30, 25, 50 cards, we can tweak each one. I mean, person A doesn't need to know what person B's card looked like. You can have a variation, and we're not as bored. Oh, let's get exactly the same 3 things 50 times in a row. Well, no, let's move them around and reorganize. For me, it prevents boredom when I'm mass producing. I love to mass produce cards. That's probably one of my favorite things to do in the whole world.
Absolutely.
Sit down and make a bunch.
Yes, yes. And I mean, once you have everything out, why not? Now, if you want to, on this card, I'm going to show you something kind of cute. You can add a sequin to the center of each one. Just put a little glue dobby in there. And I would do, let's see, I would do the smaller sequins in here. And again, make sure when you pop them down that they are cupward. But you could put a little guy there, and you could take a medium one there. And even though that's not an odd number, I think it's cute. Like, I had done this on a couple of my sample cards when I was designing, just to have a little extra sequin. But that is card 3. Now what I wonder is how many people in the chat have been making along with us and have actually finished cards. I'm curious.
Show Heidi's really quick.
You'll have to let me know though. Oh, see, Heidi, that's so cute. I love the horizontal.
I like yours better, but it was fun to make.
But absolutely. But see how that you can have that cluster off to the side, your greeting off to one side. That is exact. I would totally do that if I were doing a horizontal card, because then it gives you white space on your opposing corners that you have there. And that's a nice way to create balance on a card.
And my glue is still wet. I put some glitter on these too.
Oh, I love that. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, and again, you know, Reader, what are people saying in the chat? Because I can't see the chat.
You're good.
Finished for first 2 and almost done with 3. I finished. I missed the boop. I've been watching. I made them all. Crafting and just finished. This has been so fun. They turned out great. Thanks, Cathy. I have been. I was crafting. Made all 3.
Love it.
Wow, there's a lot of people. I like Heidi's horizontal. I finished all 3. Have 2 done. Wow, Cathy, people are going at it. Some people just watching. I hope those of you that are just watching feel free to get these and or pick up these products and make them next week, next month, September, October, November, December. You can make any time. This video is going to stay on.
Yeah, the video's here. So again, I mean, if you're watching on rewatch, we are so happy that you came back. And I've got some bonus things now because I want to show you what to do with the tags and the stencils. All right, and I feel like this is a good time to bring in, and let's remember what these lovely little products are. Hold on, I got to grab them from the kit. Okay. So we have our little tag dies, and these are so fun that I think when you start making tags, you may not stop. And I say that because I made quite a few. But here is how, and I'm going to zoom in a little here. Here is where you can use the stencils. And again, we're going to have photos of these on the blog, the Simon blog, so that you can see if you want to have a reference point. And let me grab the stencil too. For these, I used the tag dies, and once the die tag itself was cut out, I picked the stencil that was best suited for that particular tag, and that one goes with this one, and this one I actually stamped the stamp on there. So the stamps, again, are proportionally designed to work with these tags, and here I stenciled. So this is where you can use your brushes and your inks to blend on and create these really cute tags. And then on the back is your little to and from, so you can write, you know, because you're all going to send me many presents to Cathy from Heidi, you know what I mean? And those, again, you stamp them on the back. And you can back these up because they're perfectly symmetrical, like if you wanted to do a 2-sided tag. But aren't those cute? And then you can layer them up.
I love the bow.
I know, and the bow, so you have all this silver, matte silver cardstock for bows for days. You can also do, well, let me grab some more samples here. Okay, I want to show you a couple more tags, and then I have some more cards, and then Heidi has some bonus cards, but check this out. This is my thing I think I was most excited about. See this little tag? I turned it into like a party hat. So I took this and I put the little, I blended those colors together. Like I used masking tape and just blended over them. So these colors look fantastic together, like when they're butted up against each other. And then I cut out the little tag and the big tag, and that actually makes a perfect little birthday gift
Make
tag.
a bunch of little birthday gift tags. Sit with your friend, have some wine, and make some tags.
Isn't that cute? Just for a little birthday. And even if you didn't even have happy birthday on there, so cute. I made another little tag just with some, so you can stamp that stamp on there and do the little happy holidays that is part of the stamp set. So we just wanted to give you lots of options for tos and froms and to do that. So that is that. Now I want to show you the bonus cards, and then Heidi can show you some bonus cards that I sent in to her. So we'll set these aside.
Very generous of you, Cathy, to go over and above and do all of these extra projects. Thank you.
Well, I got started and I couldn't stop. So here is another example of these stencils. So you have all these openings, and you can do something like this where you overlap and create the spread of trees, like this spray of trees, if you will. It's very modern and it's very graphic. I think this is so fun. And this is the Audrey Blue cardstock. And then this card, I also used the stencil and just used those basic ornament shapes. You know, it's funny, Heidi and I love this card. And I'm like, oh, we could have made this one too. But this, I literally made this on Monday night. I was playing with the stencil and playing with the shapes. And again, these shapes are the exact same size as the stamps, and then the dies cut them out as well. So that is, and I'll zoom out here a little, that is a look at a couple bonus projects. So I think when you start playing with some of these things, it's gonna spark other ideas. Heidi, what about the card? I think I sent you a couple bonus projects, and I can't remember which ones I sent. So let's get Heidi's tape.
These are my cards right now. The bottom three, these are the ones that I did during Cathy's class. The top tags, Nina, I think Nina made those, right? Cathy, you didn't, or did you make those?
No, I made those and sent them to Nina, and told her to send them to you.
Perfect. So these are the tags that Cathy made. And then also the bonus cards. These are all bonuses that Cathy made. Remember, she was showing you the stencils. Here she put a sentiment over the front of it. And then here is where she used the, what's that called? The string. That was included in the kit. And she die cut out of the metallic cardstock to make the ornaments and then blended here. And of course, she embossed a beautiful sentiment. Cathy is very well known for her CZ design sentiments. Some of them are really witty and funny. Some of them are so touching and sweet. A bit of holiday joy for you. That's a great one. Celebrate the season. I mean, yes. Was there something else I was supposed to do on screen?
No,
that
was
just
good. But
one other thing, before we move on, if you guys create along with us, share your makes. Don't forget to use the hashtag SSS Christmas Joy in July.
Yay! Yes. I love that hashtag, SSS Christmas Joy in July. Do we go forward, Cathy, or do you still have more stuff to show on your table?
I think we go forward because that's all that I have.
Yay! So here, we're back to the front of the camera. I can't thank you enough, Cathy. And all those people who watched, even though this kit that we used in class that really was loaded with products, the kit itself is sold out. But most of these products included this exclusive assortment of these 6 ink cubes. Those are available for a limited time on the website. We didn't want to leave out those people who joined late or didn't maybe know about this class. So these products are still available for a limited time. The stamps, the dies, and the stencils are going to stay available, but once these inks sell out, we're not going to be restocking those inks. I hope that's clear as mud, Cathy. I'm sorry if I...
No, that's totally, because the stamps, I mean, that is something that Heidi's going to keep stocking. So you can get those, even if this class makes some of those products sell out, we will get them back in the store because it's a great set for the holidays. And
great set.
Again, the tags too, I hope you have so much fun like making more things. And again, we'll have the pictures on the Simon blog so that you can see those tags. I took pictures of everything, sent them into staff. We've got, we got all our things.
I had so much fun, Cathy.
I know, I did too. And now I have all these like super cute
done.
cards and tags and like so many.
Yes, Allison, these cubes are available. I'm glad somebody asked that about the inks. These cubes are available in full size, like behind me, full size ink pads. The full size ink pads are so great when you do techniques on a lot of stamping and ink blending. So I love full size ink pads. These are just a little taste of lots of colors for Cathy's class, but the full size ink pads are positively saturated ink and they blend like a dream. So those full size ink pads are pretty good. Sorry, I keep interrupting you, Cathy. You're the teacher and I keep talking.
Heidi, but you're the product supply. You're my dealer, man. So,
well, I'm just like all these other students that get to learn with you, and I appreciate that you shared all your tips and tricks with us today, Cathy. It's great to get to work with you. Remember, you can find Cathy at CZ Design on her YouTube channel and her social media, and her exclusive stamps, dies, and stencils are available at simonsaysstamp.com. Reed and Brian, did we miss anything?
Just a quick reminder, they want to know when we're going live next.
We'll go live next I'm not sure. I know we're going to go live for Gina's class in 2 weeks from today. I don't know if we're going to do another live before then. I don't know.
There's a possibility.
I know not next week. I know that for sure. I know not next week, but yeah, I'll be on the road a little bit.
And then if you guys do have questions after the fact, if you're watching on replay, go ahead and add those questions in the comments. We always review the comments too, so we'll answer your questions to the best of our ability.
Thank you,
Well,
everybody,
and
for watching.
I want to say thank you to Heidi for having me do this again. I want to thanks to Reed and Brian who helped me get set up so I can do this from long distance, which is amazing. Thank you guys. And also thanks to everybody that's watching live and that comes back to watch on replay. We appreciate you so much. And you're part of the reason that Heidi says we can keep doing these things. So thank you for watching. And yes, Heidi, thank you.
If you guys want to
Thank
see
you.
more videos like this, give a thumbs up, subscribe. We'd love to see more. Sign up for our newsletter. People talk about getting gifts. We do have gifts that come out during the holiday season, so subscribe to our newsletter and you may get those. All right, toodaloo. Have a great weekend, everybody. It's been great making with you. Bye-bye.